of some good taglines.
Well, dream on.
All right.
Because we got two, and there's nothing really to write home about. Or to write Santa about.
Yeah.
He's making a list. Pray you're not on it.
That's about how I feel. Indecisive.
And spreading holiday fear this Christmas.
That's a good one. That actually fits super well with this because it's part of like the actual movie.
Okay.
All right. Have a different opinion then.
I mean, I'm always looking for something super creative, I guess, and an original, and I don't know why I'm
spreading
judging
holiday fear?
I feel like I have.
I'm sure it's
fear
been done.
like you have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with no reported budget and no reported gross. And one dog booted across the room, 2 hands stabbed to a table, 1 dog bed leg through the throat, 1 hair full of blaze, 1 eggnog drowning, 1 table leg crushing, 1 Christmas tree star throwing, 1 turkey leg down the throat, and that's all just in the first scene. 1 car wreck, 1 candy cane through the eye, 1 wreath snapping a neck, 3 pairs of breast, 1 knife through the throat, 1 pickaxe to the skull, 1 electrocution by stripper pole, 2 decapitations from exploding presents, 1 menorah impalement, 1 taser to the groin, 1 impalement by pushpins, 1 reindeer trampling, 1 flagpole impalement with 26 deaths in total, a 5.4 on IMDb, and a 42% audience score. There is no reported actual critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 2005's Santa's Sleigh. Let's drop some bombs.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Ho, 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 Vern. Merry...
I thought you said this Vern was a friend of yours.
I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear.
My candy cane, little girl.
Right. What about now, Mr. Santos?
The name is Santa Claus.
Chris tells me you're psychic. Chris tells me you give great head.
Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Merry Christmas.
And a happy new year.
Welcome to Bombs Away, the only podcast recorded inside a projection booth. Joining me inside the studio, as always, is...
Christmas light me up? Jared Seifert. I didn't know what to do. I was so unprepared.
I've written nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, also joining us inside the studio from the Grindbin Podcast, making their debut on the show. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Mike Wood.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. So anybody...
As are we.
I know,
Yeah.
right? So anybody who's joining us from the Grindbin Podcast listeners base, welcome. I really hope you enjoyed Don't Open Till Christmas, because I know I did.
That was a
I
fun one.
Blast.
Oh, yeah.
And for anyone joining from the Grindbin coming over here to listen to it, help, they won't let us leave.
Nope. You guys you're here now.
Trapped in this projection booth.
Also, I'd like to say, hi, Chuck. Hi, David.
Yeah, they are definitely here.
Awesome. Well, hi, Chuck. Hi, David.
And
hope you stay.
I'm sorry, and hopefully, I can't believe I forgot one of the other Grindbin 4 that there's only 3 of is our good friend Sean Thompson. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, Sean.
Sorry, had to get that in.
Yeah, why not? So, for those of our listeners who are like, what are they talking about? Don't open till Christmas. Today, if you're listening on day one or any day in the future, I guess, is that we crossed over with the Grindbin Podcast
We
here.
cross streams.
Yep. Yeah. We
We're
sword
learning why
fought.
You should never do that.
And we did an episode on your guys' show.
Yeah, I likened this to the Grindbin Bombs Away Christmas special, where it's you could start on either side. There's no
Grind away,
there's no part
bombs
1 and
bin.
part 2. Yes. And we brought you guys over to our neck of the woods. You brought us over to your neck of the woods, and
Hell yeah.
we're exchanging gifts.
And
drinking
we're just
eggnog.
necking.
Oh yeah, we have
We're just
toffee.
necking all
I gotta
night.
try this toffee actually. I liken it to the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special.
So
Where
are you He-Man or She-Ra?
I would say you guys are He-Man only. I mean, I love He-Man, and
We're She-Ra because I'm gay.
yeah, that was part of it. And then,
But He-Man's also super gay.
Yeah.
So
it's
pretty
I should have
much-
led with that.
I guess that makes me half She-Ra.
you're she. Ah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say
I get to be
because
the daywalker
He-Man.
between the two shows.
Like, ooh, guest appearances.
I was only gonna say that He-Man came first, so I would say that your guys' films date back a little bit older than ours. So take it.
That's true.
Right?
Mike, you want to explain our show?
Yes, please do.
Our show covers exploitation films from the 60s through the 90s, I'd say. We get into some direct-to-video stuff. So yeah, usually stuff that you guys wouldn't cover unless we cross over on something like Miami Connection or one of our more popular movies, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
we're definitely akin to this show, but we cover stuff from the Grindhouse era, things that play in the drive-ins and in the sticky-floored, grungy theaters in 42nd Street in New York. And then, things that maybe laid the groundwork for that era and things that came about due to that era.
Yeah.
Which is how we end up in the 60s and the 90s sometimes, with the sweet spot being the 70s and 80s.
Hobo with a shotgun. One
And
day.
we
day.
have covered a few grind bins, like
New Year's Evil. We've also done a 1990 The Bronx Warriors, and there was one more. I thought
Kevin guested on it. Can't remember the name of it. Was that grind bin?
Kevin guested on it. Kevin. Oh yes, we did Dolomite.
Dolomite.
Ah,
yes.
the classic.
I was like,
Yes.
pretty sure that is one.
Well, that's a Hughes episode for us, so it doesn't really count. So.
Okay.
It's a former host of our show.
Oh.
He's dead.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Well, that's funny because that's a Callan episode. So
Well,
she is also
She's
dead.
dead too.
Wow.
Wait.
Another thing we have in
Wait,
common.
is Hughes actually dead?
He's not
No.
actually.
No, okay. Neither is
I
Callan.
I looked over and was like, ah.
I hesitated.
And I just gotta like,
Hughes' ghost haunts us on various episodes.
Yeah, periodically he does appear on our show in spectral form.
Yeah.
we've got Ghost as well.
Get various.
Yeah.
It was just bad. Moving on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's great review. Glad you're here. Yeah, so I was ultimately excited. I think we've been planning this for 3 months at least.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd literally messaged me and you showed up to, what was it?
I showed up to the all-night Camp Frida.
That's right. Camp Frida. Yep. 2 years running now.
Yeah, big fan.
Camp Frida, if for those who I don't really talk about Camp Frida that much, but it's a
sore subject.
No. It's but it was something that we've been dreaming of for a long time in concept. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Camp Frida, it is a Dusk Till Dawn marathon in which we play. We only announce the first movie starting. It's a horror marathon, and it's kind of wrapped around a theme of like it's camp, and it started out as like slasher movies at camp. So it was like The Burning, and Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, and then when we realized that we had a really great concept but could not sustain that for too long until it becomes like, well, all 8 movies are going to be Friday the 13th. So which that'd be a great marathon in itself.
At least you and I would be there for sure.
I would totally be there. They did that with Nightmare one night, like last year up in LA somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. So
including the remake?
Nope. They
not.
and they didn't do New Nightmare either. They basically just did his death to
what
death.
What a thud to end it on.
Yeah, right? Yeah, in 3D. They actually gave glasses out for that 3D ending sequence of
I have a
part
pair of
6.
those, like first run.
You
3D
love
glasses.
Nightmare.
I do.
He's a Freddy apologist.
So that was Camp Frida, and that's how we met. And it just came to be. You were like, oh, let's collaborate. Let's do something. We were supposed to do
I live
Thanksgiving.
In the area, and,
yeah.
And I saw that there was a screening coming up of, I believe it was seeing an ad for the screening of Death Spa.
Oh,
Might have been that. And I was like, oh shit, they're running Death Spa. I love Death
Somebody
Spa.
saw that ad.
And I went, who the fuck is Bombs Away?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
People still say that. It's fine.
Well, certainly.
Yeah, no.
And I'm sure we get that too on the Grindbin. But that's when it dawned on me that there was a similar podcast to what we're already doing in the same damn town.
Literally like 3 blocks from each other.
Yeah.
Like, whoops.
Insane.
Recording walking distance from each other. I was like, well, we got to talk. We got to bring this shit together.
Right?
And then 3 months in the making, here we are in our Christmas sweaters.
Yes.
With a hot toddy in each hand.
Oh, that'd be
Double
lovely.
fisting a toddy.
So, for anybody who is interested, I'm going to say this right now. Stop the show. Stop it right now.
It's not worth it.
Just
No.
unsubscribe.
I'm just saying, anybody,
Delete your review.
our listeners, stop the show. Look up Grindbin on your favorite podcast app, wherever you're listening to this. Literally stop it, pause it for a second. Pull over in a car. I don't care. Don't text and drive. But literally pause it. Look up Grindbin Podcast. Hit subscribe, and we're going to be the first thing on that feed, at least on week 1.
Absolutely.
Okay? And if not, what episode number would they find us if they hear this a year from now?
Mike, do you know what episode number that would be?
Numbers.
At this point?
Oh boy, it's like 138.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around there.
Oh, you guys don't do the number. You just do the title.
I do
Is
the
that...
numbers. I just don't remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
we
don't.
just
Okay.
don't keep track of that.
Okay, so somewhere in the 130s, guys. If you're listening a long time from now, but I will
Check
say
out
this
somewhere around Christmas.
Yes,
The one
yes.
after
It's
Lady
recent.
Terminator.
Yeah.
Yes. So stop it.
Terminator.
Hit subscribe.
So good.
Follow along. See what they had to say about Dolomite, New Year's Evil, things like that we've done in the past. And I'm sure we're going to collaborate again. It is sequel year for us, so we'll be doing 1990's sequel, Escape from New York.
Escape from the Bronx.
Or Escape from the Bronx.
Escape
Oh,
from
boy.
New York is a vastly different movie.
But it's
Yes.
it's the only
Yeah.
reason that those movies exist.
Oh, yeah.
So there's plenty of things to collaborate on the future. So if you like what's going on here, you're gonna love what's going on over there. So
Absolutely.
definitely please subscribe, listen.
And vice versa for any Grindbin listeners
Of
who
course.
jumped over. Stick
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Well,
I
These
mean,
guys are great.
I assume you've subscribed, and if you haven't, what's wrong with you?
well,
Yeah.
so I
Get it
would
together.
I would assume some people are like, I'll click on the episode and just I'll hear it out, and I'm like, well,
It's the Costco sample.
yeah, you already got a better version of the 4 of us, probably, because I'm gonna say this right now as we dive into this film. I had a lot of fun with this, and I'm not quite sure how hard I'm gonna be able to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty to make fun of.
There's plenty.
Okay, well, let's do what you do. I'm sure you have stats and you have some trivia and things like that. Did you collect that this time?
I did not collect a ton of trivia, but I did collect enough.
I feel like you're
and,
chafing at the bit over there.
The thing is like we cover.
Chafing at the
Yeah.
bit?
Who
Yes.
doesn't chafe at the
You've never
bit?
heard that?
Chomping.
No one has
at
heard
the bit.
chafing
No.
at the bit.
You don't chafe at the
Well,
The
if
bit
you
is
rub
on
it too
tight
long,
if you're chafing.
well, you go too hard, you rub
Yeah.
it, you chafe.
I'm with Jonathan on this one.
Mike,
Yeah?
I know
I'm
you're chafing a
at
little bit.
I'm chafing hard over here.
I'm so raw.
I'm a dry guy, so I don't shave.
Okay. Well, please.
Isn't that
So here's the
character
thing.
from Mario Brothers?
This movie,
Mm-hmm.
directed by first-time director and last-time director.
Oh.
First and last. He also wrote it. Now here's the thing.
Wow. So, passion project.
Well, did you guys notice? Well, maybe passion in a different way. I think. Did you notice?
Like of the Christ.
Well, who produced
manner
this
of
movie?
speaking.
And I'm not talking about executive produced. I'm talking about actually produced this movie. Producer credit.
I mean, I'm looking at it.
It's
but-
Brett Ratner.
Right.
Ratner.
Which makes a lot of sense.
So now here's the thing:
Just
is
Coke
This feels like it
infused.
exists in Brett Ratner.
well, it makes even more sense when you start to go through it. Brett Ratner. Now, this is the thing: is with our podcast, we cover movies in the past, but we
so
never.
does everybody, Mike.
But we never cover more in the 2000s range.
This is a joy for you.
Because
It's special.
over time, being in film school and also being around people, I've kept my ear to the ground, and I hear certain stories about modern movies that I can't share on our podcast. But I have quite the story about Brett Ratner.
Oh,
and
do
somebody
tell.
who absolutely fucking hates him.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, I met the producer. She produced all of Nora Ephron's movies as well as the original X-Men movies.
Oh,
she was
okay.
the producer in charge of those. Now, you all remember X-Men 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and who directed that movie?
I believe that'd be one Brett Ratner.
Uh-huh. And around what time did that movie come out?
2003?
8 p.m.?
Yeah. So a little bit around when
California
this movie
time.
was made, right? Well, here's the thing, is that she had been a successful producer for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brett Ratner came around. She was the one who selected Bryan Singer to direct. I believe he did number 1. Did he do number 2 as well?
He did, yes.
Yes, but he moved on to Superman. So the studio...
Great career move on his part.
Yeah.
The studio hired Brett Ratner against her objections to make X-Men 3. Now, he came in...
I'm picturing just like, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
No, she did not want him because she is a huge X-Men fan, okay? And she already has... And as anybody knows behind the scenes, like, the director gets most of the credit, but the producer is the person that's in charge of the movie. They're the person that typically hires the director, hires everybody else, and is the person that oversees the whole project. So they hired Brett Ratner against her objections. He gets in there, rewrites the whole script, knows nothing about X-Men.
I'm just imagining he's just like, all right, here's what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
we're gonna have young face Ian McKellen. We're gonna have young face Patrick Stewart, and then like we're gonna have the Juggernaut come in. He's gonna be like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
You guys
gonna
ever
be
see that
fucking
video
awesome.
on YouTube? It's the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that shit in there right now.
Kelsey Grammer's gonna come in. He's not gonna know any of his fucking lines, and we're gonna just put him up on screen. He's gonna be great.
No, he came in, insulted the source material, started talking about how X-Men's just for kids, and like this is going to be the new X-Men.
That
you
makes
know,
so much sense. Man. Like, Beast is like a smart guy or something. You know who's smart? Frasier. Frasier's
Yeah.
smart.
So bad.
So she says, no. Goes to the producer, the heads up in the studio, and they say, no, we trust this man. He directed Rush Hour 2, massive hit. You don't know shit. You know, you only made the first 2 X-Men movies and every Nora Ephron movie. What do you know about movie making? So they went with Ratner, and the movie fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, famously.
But guess what? Guess who got blamed for it?
I'm gonna guess the woman.
She did.
Yeah.
Of course
Yep.
she did.
Yeah.
And Brett Ratner got away clean and had his career, not affected at all?
Not by that.
A little bit, though, because he was kind of in director jail after, like, X-Men 3, because it's like, we don't know. But here's the thing. When you look into this movie, it's made around the same time, and this movie was written and directed by his personal assistant Okay, if you look at the director of this movie and the writer, he had never directed anything in his life, and the only credits he has is a PA on Castaway. And
so that's why they use the F word in this movie right out the bat.
Yeah. And you realize what that has to mean is, since it's his personal assistant, means every time this dude went and got his lunch, he just kept going on and on banging about this Santa Claus movie idea.
I don't know. My theory is a little different because Brett Ratner is a notorious asshole. From anybody that's ever met him that will talk about it, they can't stand the guy.
I have some people in the industry that I am close with as well, as you know. Mike.
Similar stories that
I hear the exact same stories.
Yeah.
He's without breaking an old non-disclosure, he used to show up at the nightclub that I worked at, and he would terrorize our waitresses pretty hard.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
That's as
right?
close as I can get to it.
I think we're along similar lines here.
That's about it.
Yeah.
You know,
because if this man's his personal assistant through Red Dragon and Rush Hour 2, right? All of a sudden, this guy who's never had a credit in anything, all of a sudden writes and directs a movie that Brett Ratner personally produces, not executive producer, produces in Canada. I feel like we know why this movie was made, and that's because the guy either has something real juicy on Ratner, I mean real juicy, to the point where he's like, I'll make that movie you want. Because, by the way, this guy's never made anything since.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just did something to him personally, where he was like, I'll make it up to you, we can make that Santa movie.
Sorry about your butthole.
Yeah, because
here we go.
am
close look at that Rorschach.
Yeah, I am positive this was an apology project where he just said, "Look, that Santa movie you've been going on and on about. How about we do it? But we're not going to do it in America. We'll do it in Canada, and we'll get all sorts of people that have been in my movies before, and some weird wrestler, and then we'll release it theatrically in Canada, but it'll only come out here on DVD."
that makes a lot of sense. Why I
So-
couldn't find a budget.
Yeah.
Adds up.
I think this was completely just
That's been scrubbed.
yeah.
You can't find what money went into this and where that money came from.
So you have one of two things: is either Brett Ratner's a real nice guy, and he helped that guy get his career going directing movies, or the other stories about Ratner.
I wow. I love this.
Man, that is so much more in line with the stuff we usually cover.
Yeah.
Those backstories.
Yeah.
Just like
They seem very similar to me.
bags of coke and non-disclosures.
You see, the X-Men's gay. It's an allegory for gay. And Angel, he doesn't want to be gay, so he cuts off his wings. It's fucking crazy. And then everybody wants to take a pill, and they don't have the pill, so they got to shoot it up.
Now, I'm just telling you that this, the producer of those movies, she was not shy. She was just ripping on Radner for 2 hours.
Good.
Well, because I'm sure she dealt with him enough at this point.
And by the way, the movie they screened was not X-Men 3.
So,
in fact, they screened, was it You Got Mail? And then the whole Q&A was about how much she fucking hates Brett Ratner.
Also,
Good.
did she have anything to do with the next one in line?
You know, I don't know.
Of Origins?
I don't
Wolverine?
know. I haven't looked into her career since, but I don't think so.
What a dip.
But she was the original person that got the X-Men over there. So
Wow.
very accomplished producer, and didn't deserve the credit for X-Men 3 bombing. So
Sure. Oh, wow.
So we got cast members now. We mentioned Bill Goldberg.
Oh, who's next?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing in this movie, honestly.
Well, Bill Goldberg's a horrible wrestler,
He's
and
doing
he's
wrestling set pieces. Literally,
Yeah,
there's
that's
like
it.
3 or 4 wrestling set pieces for him to do.
There's a point in this film where he literally did one of his wrestling moves.
oh, Spear.
Yeah, he speared a guy right through a deli case.
See,
Oh, yeah.
you guys have never seen Bill Goldberg wrestle.
Not wrestling
no.
fans that dig it?
No.
Well,
no.
he's
No,
notoriously known.
we got schooled on No Holds Barred so hard.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Uh,
Bill Goldberg was an NFL star in the early to mid '90s on the Atlanta Falcons. He had an injury to end his career, and he decided, wrestling, eh? And he didn't give a shit about wrestling. But it was during the time when Ted Turner was throwing money at everything, and they found this guy who looked like a bigger Steve Austin, and he just dumped piles of cash on him, like, get out there and beat people up for real. So Bill Goldberg ended Bret the Hitman Hart's career legitimately.
Oh.
By kicking him upside the head real hard.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, concussed him, and it was it.
Well, Goldberg also, Bobby's kind of underselling is he was the biggest star in wrestling for a good year.
Yeah.
I'd say he was
Interesting
for like a week.
yeah.
but like he couldn't wrestle, right? He was notorious for having 3 moves.
Yeah. Oh, but he was King Fuck back in the
Just
late
like
90s.
another person that's in this film, Tiny Lester.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he
What's funny is it being 2005, this is well past his time.
Oh yeah.
Like, this movie is kind of... Remember Bill Goldberg?
Was it like 98, 99?
Yeah.
Okay.
Around there was when... Because WCW, the company he was the most famous in, folded in 2001.
So he was he around the same time as like The Rock?
Yeah.
Like around that.
They were
yeah,
on
he
opposite
was,
shows, opposite companies. They were the 2 biggest stars.
Right. Okay.
And Goldberg had this notorious undefeated streak that they would just keep inflating every week. One week it would be 40-0, next week it's 120-0.
And so they'd bring him out, and he'd crush a guy in like 30 seconds, and then look into the camera and go, "Who's next?"
Oh, is that
That's-
that?
yeah,
Okay.
Which is what they do. Well,
Damn
we'll just
it.
jump to that right now, because whatever.
Right?
There's a post-credit sequence in this where they show Santa Claus looking at his nice and naughty list, and then he looks up at the camera and goes, "Who's next?" Which is...
Nah.
Do you smell what Santa's... I mean,
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's wrong.
And I couldn't help but think about that. Like, if this had been some other wrestler, like if it was Hulk Hogan reprising Santa Claus.
Oh, Santa
Yeah.
with muscles.
It'd be like if he looked into the camera and went, "What you gonna do?" and then said the N-word.
Yeah.
It's such a fourth wall breakage
Yeah.
of just like, why is Santa Claus quoting a wrestler?
I just also don't understand why they picked Goldberg.
It kinda works.
He's a horrible
I
wrestler.
will
He
tell
had
you
no
why.
charisma.
I have a theory on why Goldberg worked best for this, because
Because his voice.
yes. Also, you may have seen this in the IMDb trivia, Jarrett, that almost everybody involved in this project was Jewish.
Jewish. Yeah.
Goldberg is the most significant Jewish professional wrestler, or big hulking Jewish guy they could have gotten to play Santa
That's the name.
Yeah.
Claus. Right. I thought he was just a Mighty Ducks fan.
Goldberg.
That's a deep cut, sir.
And so it becomes kind of a running joke throughout this that this entire Jewish cast are going around just
all
destroying
Christmas, yeah.
everything Christmas related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's an odd take, people who make movies.
Yeah.
Because if you'd switch the roles on that, it would be a shit show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it absolutely would. I was going to go into the Jewish thing more, but I wanted to cover it as we covered the plot.
Yeah,
so
and we still
we'll hold there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, other than I don't think they should have ever resurrected Goldberg's career in any capacity. He's the person you just want to go away. Just go away. You had your run. You had everything. Just please don't act.
I feel like that's most wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of that industry.
I mean, John Cena and The
I'm
Rock.
trying very hard not to get into like 3 hours of wrestle talk here.
John
I'm
Cena,
giant
that's a
wrestling fan,
different
but-
situation, though. Like, that guy is comedy gold. I'm really enjoying what John Cena puts out. Like, and if you've seen Bumblebee yet,
I have not yet.
Because
I'm 0 for 6 now in Transformers movies. So
You're-
should I give it one more
you're
try?
gonna be yes.
I know they're the G1 designs, but aside from that, it's a decent movie?
I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a live action Iron Giant.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's kind of okay. I think a problem with Bumblebee is it came out at the same time as like Axel, and they were running those trailers at the same time, and I'm like, that's the same goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen that trailer?
Axel?
Yeah, where the guy gets a robot dog.
Oh no!
Finds it
I
in a
didn't see
junkyard, and then the government comes for it. It's
just like monster trucks.
Yeah, they just keep pushing out the exact same movie with a different coat of paint.
Oh yeah, but
we got to get on one of those gimmicks.
Welcome
man.
to the movie industry. That's just all that.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
And that's what I'll say about this. Give it a chance. And John Cena actually doesn't really have much to do outside of like, I'm a military man.
Sounds about right.
Right. Yeah. But
kind of true in his wrestling career too,
right?
Even though he's not actually a military man.
But the movie in itself, the relationship between girl and her robot friend is what keeps the glue all together. It has heart. It's funny, and it actually doesn't have a lot of Rock'em Sock'em robots in it, other than like the climax and the beginning. Really, there's no giant fights or anything, because at the heart of it all, it's just the two of them. So I totally recommend it. But back to John Cena, I think did anybody watch the one where he's trying to stop his daughter from
Blockers?
Yeah.
No.
That turned out to be extremely funny.
Really?
Like,
yeah, Cena was good in it. Yeah.
It was one of those movies where I was blown away. Like, I'd watch every trailer and be like, this is going to be fucking horrible, right? And then because I had Movie Pass, I just would go to things all the time, you know? Like, that was the joy of like all these past kind of things, is you give a chance to things that you would not normally give to, right?
Yeah.
So I did, and I went in and I was like, that was funnier than what was it, Game Night, that came out like within a couple months of that, right? Way funnier than even that, and that was surprising. So there are certain wrestlers, The Rock, you know, that are doing great. But then we have little times here, and this is a great example where it's
tiny Lester times.
Right? But even the Hulk is, at this point, you're like, don't show up anywhere, please don't.
You had your reality show.
Please
don't show up.
Oh, come on, brother, just one more time.
I think The Rock has blown away any expectations for professional wrestlers becoming actors.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's ever come anywhere close to that. Rock has become Schwarzenegger at this
yes.
point. He's picked up that torch and run with it.
The Rock is also, in my mind, a person that can actually save a dying ship of a franchise.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he did it with Fast and Furious. He did it with G.I. Joe, if they had kept going.
It's better that they didn't, though.
Yeah. Right.
I was at the advanced screening for that G.I. Joe movie.
First or the second one?
The second one, Retaliation.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was at one of those, the free screenings.
Yeah.
Where they fill out the cards and all that stuff. And
that's how I got Bumblebee ahead of time.
Man, they do it as a mystery screening. They just go, if you like stuff involving the military and superheroics and stuff like that. So you have a sea of Captain America fans thinking that's what it was going to be. And then when the title came up and the entire crowd groaned and half of them left.
No.
And I was sitting there with a Cobra t-shirt on going, yay!
Like, I did it.
But the funny thing about that is the version I saw had about, 15 more minutes in it. And is so much better than what actually came out.
Wow.
Like, they cut all of the actual acting in that movie. Any dramatic sequences. Mm-hmm. There's a really great sequence that I saw in the original cut that they showed test audiences, that when I ended up walking out of the official one because I'd seen this magical better one where like...
Wait, I'm sorry, you went to see this twice?
Well, I only paid for it once.
Yeah.
You know how us nerds are.
But wait, what were you legitimately like trying to compare? Were
Yeah,
you like,
I wanted to see what the difference was. I thought it'd be interesting to see
how long was the gap between when you got to see this and then when the one officially came out?
Okay, 6 months, something like that.
Oh gosh,
because they did a lot of shit to it to change it all up and everything.
And
I thought it had a lot of potential, but they cut only the wrong things.
And you're just like, you guys got to see it. It's going to be great. I saw the advanced
It's
screen
way
and
better
everything.
than
You guys
think
are
it's
going to love
be,
it.
and then it's so much
You bring
worse.
all your friends and everything, and then afterwards
Like
you're just...
killing Channing Tatum? Like, so spoiler alert.
Not a good spot.
Yeah, why did you kill him? Like, it didn't make any sense.
He said he wouldn't do a third.
For anyone who actually sat through all that movie, they kill like half those characters.
Yeah.
There's nobody left.
Well, because I really feel like they were trying to reboot it. But anyway.
But we're not
like,
here to talk about G.I.
no,
Joe.
we were
Not
talking
at
about
all.
wrestlers, and we're here to talk about Goldberg. So, let's do
Please,
this.
no.
Let's do this film. All right? Santa's Sleigh. So, the film starts off insane, in my opinion. Like, it just... And that's one of the things about this is that I feel like the rest of this film never... This feels like the climax to another film.
Yeah.
And
previously on Santa's Sleigh.
Yeah, right?
Well,
You
it
get
feels
the
like
finale.
we missed an entire like opening to a backstory, which we do get like some backstory and explanation later. But even then, it's like, okay, he still just kind of showed up during someone's Christmas dinner.
He juggernauted.
This look,
Yeah.
He just burst into the room.
it makes no sense, this scene. And I'm almost positive this was filmed after. Because they did have a Los Angeles unit, and I'm like, yeah, this was the part.
Oh, yeah, it definitely feels like they needed something for
But it makes no sense.
No.
Because the whole... And I don't want to, get too far into it, but the whole story is there's a bet for 1,000 years that it ends on a certain day. What the hell day is this?
Well, they don't specify, so we don't necessarily have to think that this is happening now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, it doesn't make any
now.
fucking sense.
You're right.
No, it's a line, there's a throwaway line where I feel like Mary is...
Oh, Mary says, I was just going to go over and see the twins' new expensive gift.
Right.
To where it is Christmas Eve.
Okay, so we're doing a time jump in this movie.
No.
Because we
still,
start
like, Christmas Eve.
We start on Christmas Eve day.
Yeah, so
And
that's
now-
still on Christmas Eve day. So
Yeah,
they're
so I'm
having like
saying-
an early Christmas Eve dinner, which doesn't make sense.
Wait, this is in the day? The first day? I thought this was at night.
I
No,
didn't see
the only,
windows,
like,
so I don't
This
know.
dinner is happening a couple
Christmas
days before.
Day is
Yeah,
like...
that's what I was thinking. It's like a Festivus dinner or something.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make
that's-
They
sense.
do
that's
have
a
two
common
turkeys.
thing. I mean, families get together. They circle the wagons like a week
I don't-
before
yeah.
Christmas.
I don't know what rich people do. I don't
None
know.
of us do.
Because they were very clear on the rules. It's like, no, it ends today after 1,000 years. And I'm like, well, bullshit, it does. What was that scene in the first part?
Also, why would it end today instead of like the 26th?
Yeah,
Like,
I got it.
you've got one more day to
You know
go.
what this is? This is a fantasy inside Santa's head as he's like psyching
Wow.
himself up for Christmas Eve.
I'm gonna
He's
do
like,
this
is what I'm
shit.
gonna do. I'm gonna jump down the chimney and be like, "You're next."
Well, you're right. Because
Remember that, kids?
There is a part in the movie when they just break all the rules. And he's like, actually, time doesn't matter because Santa could just say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
That's like the bully on the playground.
It's like they wrote themselves in a corner like, well, what are we going to do? And they're just, I don't know, just have Santa say that the North Pole could be any time he wants.
You know what? North Pole rules, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Christmas ends when I say it ends.
And starts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got this family.
yeah, and James Caan,
Oh,
right, is the
boy.
father,
Patriarch of this family.
Yeah.
right?
So what did he do that got Brett Ratner to force him to be in this movie?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
this
the
whole
thing.
scene is
Yeah.
just a handful of phone calls. You know, I'm just like, who owes me a favor?
Well,
Are you bored today?
No, I think Chris Kattan was doing an audition. Be like,
Yeah.
I could be in the rest of the movie. I'm in Canada for the week,
or as long as you need.
Not much had happened since House on the Haunted Hill. He was
Yeah.
like, I gotta do something.
Yeah, him and Fran Drescher are like, no, we'll stick around.
You want me to do the head bop? I'll do the head bop.
Yeah, honestly, if you think about it, like Rebecca Gayheart wasn't doing anything at the time.
Oh,
Fran
fun
Drescher
fact
wasn't
about
busy.
Rebecca Gayheart. She's a distant relative of mine.
You're related to
cool.
Rebecca Gayheart, and you didn't get her on this episode?
Right? Well, on my mom's side, but it's like my grandpa's cousin's daughter or something like that.
What does that make us?
Absolutely
Absolutely nothing.
in a projection booth together.
You don't think like Chris Kattan was pitching like maybe Santa could kill Mango at some point, or
You can't have the mango.
And then Corky Romano shows up.
he's like, I mean, I can set up lights. I'll stick around.
And had we even seen Fran Drescher since The Nanny at this point?
Maybe. What was that? What was that one with Timothy Dalton? That movie she did? Where...
Oh, Beautician and the Beast?
Yes.
Oh, the classic.
Fuck yeah.
I love how he was just on it. He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, my brain
I love that
like
one.
That's, I mean, I don't remember from much else other than that. Like, after the Nanny?
It goes like
She's
Spinal
great,
Tap,
so.
Nanny, Beautician and the Beast, Santa's Sleigh. That's her whole career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nanny was a big hit.
Oh, Dr.
it was
Detroit.
giant.
And Dr. Detroit.
Yes.
Which we never got around to.
A lot of
never
references
did.
to Detroit in this movie, though.
She does voices for Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So she's working.
Yeah.
She needed a new kitchen, so she's like, I'll do the Santa sleigh shit.
I want to replace the granite.
Well, Brett Ratner was like, I'll put you in X-Men 4.
Oh, God. She should have been in one of the X-Men movies.
She's the new Storm.
Yeah. I'm going to shock you.
Professor Xavier.
Oh, the humidity's making my hair frizzle.
Wow, the claws came like right out of his fist. I'd hate to see that in the bedroom.
It's in the Radner X-Men universe. That might have been okay. If
Yeah.
Professor was just kind of
I would have liked it.
one-lining
I was
through.
like, yes, throw Jennifer Coolidge in there, and it's a party.
And I'm sure, much like this movie, we've started on a nice tight shot of Fran's chest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't even know it's her, and when you pan out, you go, "Oh."
You're like, "Who's this?" Oh,
Right?
oh, it's the nanny. Okay.
And part of you goes, I'd still do it.
Yeah. She still looks good.
Yeah, she
for
looks good.
2005.
Yeah, considering how long ago we saw her on network television,
Yeah.
she's
Well,
looking great.
Considering
She looks exactly the same.
She does. She does
Oh,
look
yeah.
exactly the same.
especially because like you'll watch her in this and you'll listen to her and she actually you realize you go, oh, the nanny voice isn't really her voice.
Right.
Right.
It's
And
not
you're
like a Macho Man Randy Savage
Yeah.
situation. Where he legit sounded like that. Which, can you imagine how insane that would be?
Yeah, like at dinner. Just
Can you pass the potatoes? Yeah.
Constantly scared, like, okay.
Like he's just like in a drive-through. He's just like, I'm trying to get a quarter pounder. Yeah.
I'd like a Big Mac, please. And you're like, oh. If I
Make
don't
it super size.
No one's taking me seriously.
Be afraid if he's at McDonald's ordering
just pull
ice
up.
cream.
He's just got tassels and a cowboy hat.
God.
Sir, this coupon's expired. Oh, no.
So Santa murders everyone.
Yeah, that's the
Basically.
gist
Hell,
of
the
this
secret.
scene.
So they're all fighting with each other. And,
Like one daughter's boyfriend husband is fingering Fran.
It's
I don't
very
know,
confusing.
Like,
yeah.
I thought they were all siblings, and I was like, don't do that to your mom.
like, Chris, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Get out of there.
So,
Yeah, Chris Kattan was feeling her leg and all that.
yeah. So,
He
because
felt more than a leg.
around the table, you've got the two twin girls on one side of the table. On the opposite side of the table from them, you have Chris Kattan and Fran Drescher. Right, Fran Drescher, and then James Caan is at the head of the table.
Kattan
Next
is Rebecca Gayhart's husband.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I love how it's like famous people in twins.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're there.
I feel like
Air quotes around the word
You
famous,
think those
by
were
the way.
going to
Sorry.
also be famous people? But
Oh,
a few
yeah.
people
Oh, yeah.
said no.
that's what I was gonna say. I think two people
Even
called
the
out.
dog is famous because the dog also starred in Air Bud.
Oh,
No, that's a lie.
right. Couldn't help but notice that's not a golden
You were
retriever.
like, oh!
I was like, maybe there's some supporting dog in Airbud.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't
It's
watch
that
this.
like one cut where it's like a dog barking like, "Meow," and then there's subtitles that say, you can do it. Who's that dog?
He was in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
So they're all sitting
The
around the
water
table. Chris Kattan is, I guess, married to Rebecca Gayheart in this scene, and you have James Caan, who is yelling at Chris Kattan, telling him he's, I guess, at least bisexual. He calls him the F word.
Yeah.
Calls him just straight.
And I wrote, this is
fag.
2005,
one,
by the
yeah.
way.
This
is
is how
2005.
They announced the year. By having that, he's like, listen, you half a fag, I'll stick this fork in your eye.
Right?
Like,
But that's what I was saying. Of that line alone, I'm like, that's got Brett Ratner written all over it.
Sure
if you
does.
look at Last Stand, because
Yeah.
Last Stand's just an allegory for being like, we don't want to be gay, let's take a pill to not be gay.
Yeah. And
So
now-
you think that this guy who wrote and directed this movie, it's all his, except for Radner's like, look, I just want to do one thing.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I'll produce the movie. Can we just add in the other F word in the first 2
Yeah.
minutes?
I just,
Please.
We gotta set that Radner tone. Okay?
I just want somebody to acknowledge that Chris Kattan's a homo. So, I mean, look at Mango.
And the thing is, back on the Grindbin, we encounter this all the time.
Yeah.
Because it was a different time then.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa was allowed to say this back in the 70s.
This is 2005.
2005,
yeah.
though. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How quickly we've evolved past that.
So,
Well, in Canada, apparently it's okay. So
I thought they were supposed to be friendly up there.
Right. Oh.
and so all this is happening, and then just Santa comes down the chimney, and he just bursts through the chimney because he has to come out of the chimney standing
Those
straight up.
styrofoam bricks had no idea what hit him.
Oh, yeah.
Shockmaster style.
And proceeds to kick a dog across the room.
After he's doing his first quip of the film, where he goes, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus." Like, that's fine.
He always has these one-liners throughout the whole movie, but none of them are like jokes.
It's
just
just
No.
he says Christmas shit.
they just
at
die.
people.
Right?
Yeah.
They literally, it's like they Googled famous Christmas sayings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And was like, there it
He
there
even
it
gets
is.
a few of them wrong later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while he'll do
Some are
one.
copyrighted.
Right.
Every once in a while he'll do one where I'm sitting here and I was watching it. And I was like, Jared, did we write this? Like, because it's just like weird, like puns and stuff. Where every once in a while we'll drop something. And we're like,
Oh no,
clever wordplay.
You're better than this. No.
Thank you.
This is just if you took the quote and didn't change it.
Yeah.
That's just almost all of them are just.
Well, ho
Just read the
ho
quote.
hose. I added an S. All right, go out there and
Yeah,
be
a lot of
somebody.
this feels like placeholder lines. Like they meant to go back and touch it up.
Well, I
Yeah,
almost felt
real.
like that ho ho ho's line. Goldberg might have just been like, he did that on accident. They're like, cut. Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, that works.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we keep that in.
Hey.
Oh.
Nice improv, Bill.
So there's some pretty creative bloodletting during this sequence.
Yeah.
He does this like forward roll on the table and jams the carving knives into James Caan's hands. So he has to sit and watch.
Yeah, I gotta say, Khan gets it the worst out of anybody, which to me was even more shocking.
Like in this movie?
Yeah.
Not just being in this movie, he got it the worst out of everybody?
Yeah, no. Yeah, on many levels. I mean, because you're going to say how he actually dies. I'm like, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
James Caan did that?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
And one kill was really kind of weird. He just sort of like went boo at somebody and she fell back and impaled herself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
I
was
was
it.
like, I don't think he killed her.
Yeah, which
She
means that
kinda
could have
just
happened at
died.
any time if she
Yeah.
happened to just fall back too far in her chair.
So I'm never giving an animal a bed.
Uh,
You'll sleep with me.
I probably best kill here award of the film to me goes to Fran Drescher.
Oh, getting lit up like Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He drinks a bottle of alcohol, or at least puts it in his mouth, and then takes a lighter and just blows that alcohol back out of his mouth and lights her hair on fire.
Yoga flame.
Yeah, and has just an entire
Some great CG burn effect on her
yeah,
hair.
and she's not dead from this. Actually, I don't know how she gets put out.
Oh, in a bowl of eggnog.
Right, he drowns her in
No,
the
she was already out.
She's out. Her hair
With-
is out by the time he grabs her and pushes her in the egg.
Right.
She's like,
Oh.
ah.
They
And
just
it's like patchy
Yeah, because
hair.
then you see her
It's
like
like
it's like
flash paper.
burned,
It just
Yeah.
goes up one
like
real quick.
Freddy Krueger scalp with a couple strands of hair
Yeah.
when he like gets back to her and drowns her in the eggnog.
Looking
So
like
like,
Corey Feldman at the end of Friday 4.
oh yes, it does. Look like die.
But yeah, she gets drowned in the eggnog. He turns and he boots Chris Kattan into a hutch, which, who wouldn't want it?
that was satisfying.
Yeah, that felt really good.
I was like, God, I wish I had that leg
Was that all he
straight.
does to Kattan, too? Is
Oh, yeah.
Kattan ostensibly still alive? Because he just sort of like did
There's
a
a
stuntman shot.
few. There's a few kills in this movie where it's like they could survive that.
No.
Like they're just getting hit. In the
Yeah,
head.
because I don't have in my rundown here, and I write them as I see them. So like hair ablaze, eggnog drowning. So like in between those two, I think that's where he booted Kattan.
Yeah.
Kattan,
I've got
'cause
it written in order, too. Here.
Yeah.
And then he turns to Rebecca Gayheart, and she tries to reason with him. She's like, I've been good! And
Yeah.
she gets it with a table leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, which also I was like, I mean, one hit maybe, but she could have survived.
Is that the table leg that he broke in the outtakes?
I think so.
Right?
They were like, oh well, now we have another. We didn't have a way to kill her, so there you go.
And we're kind of going back and forth between a really creative, cool idea and a really boring, phoned-in one.
Yeah.
Like he does the table leg, but then he does the tree topper,
The Christmas
as
star.
a shuriken.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and then he takes James Caan as the final kill, and he stuffs a turkey leg.
Like a Disneyland turkey
Yeah,
leg.
we're-
Yeah.
we
But it's not
actually
even that
see-
big. It's like a chicken leg.
Yeah, but
Like I was
They
like,
didn't have time to cook a turkey.
Yeah.
Even the point where you have to see James Caan like actually having a turkey leg shoved
deep
in
throating.
Yeah,
I
was
see
like,
James
this
Caan
is
go down on a turkey leg.
Yeah, I was like, what did he do? Seriously, what the fuck did he do to have to get this from Ratner?
You're right.
This was Jesus.
He did Honeymoon in Vegas. That's a goddamn masterpiece. So
Then we move on to a deli.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
After
now-
getting our opening credits, they explained the backstory just through pictures. It was
In
kinda
words
well done.
we
Oh,
can't
do
read.
they?
Yeah, blew the
Yeah.
whole budget on that CG.
He later
credit
explained the
sequence.
backstory, but if you're watching the drawings, it's telling the backstory of what's
But
going
it
on.
even
Yes.
still
And
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't have
Well,
to.
Bobby reads Norse, so
I
he
do.
knew what the book
Yeah.
said. So.
Yeah, no, to me, I because the letters that weren't the credit sequence on the page weren't in any language I could
You're like,
read.
what is this, the Predator?
I-
don't know what this shit says.
It didn't even look like Norse. It was just like keyboard smashing.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not trying.
And that gave me time to catch up on writing all the kills that had just happened.
You're like,
so
thank you,
I was
movie.
like, yes,
Yeah.
thanks.
I don't have to pause this.
Yeah, I still had to actually, but that was a
Just
lot.
just to shake it off.
Yeah, I mean,
Periodically, like,
that was a lot. How far are we in here?
45 minutes?
We're 45 minutes in, and that was the first scene.
We've reached the opening credits.
Yes.
It's gonna be a long one, kids.
Yep.
Strap in.
but I did write after all that. I was like, well, this is going to be fun, and I have to say, as we go through this, I did have a blast with this film.
And to their credit, that opening scene does set the table for that. Like, we're here to have a good
Was that
time.
a play? Was that a play on words?
Not a good one, but yeah.
Well, just like this movie.
Yeah.
Well,
not my best work.
the big problem with this movie is like it's so fun in parts, and then
Yes.
But you
they
gotta
have
wait around
this
for it, like a bus coming.
they have this relationship story, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know if it was just lost in translation. Like it's supposed to be campy, but it's played off
Terrible.
dead serious.
Lost
Yeah.
in translation from Icelandic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's played off dead serious throughout the movie, and there are just various points where it just literally stops the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have just a scene of like the girl. I called them Sandwich Boy and Sandwich Girl because they both work at the deli.
Yeah.
They just turn to each other and go,
Sub kids.
"Yeah, I'm scared." I go, "Okay, that's great." Apparently you can't emote it in your face, so you need to tell the audience you're scared. Can we get? And it's just like people are standing around like, "Well, let's
Hey,
get
but
back
she was
to the
Claire
movie."
in Lost.
Oh,
she was
shit.
really good in Lost.
And she was in a film called The Submarine Kid. So
Oh.
there's your sandwich kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a sequel.
Yeah.
With the deli gone, she had to go work at like Quiznos.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he died.
But you know, their
That is dead as
relationship is just. And I kept writing, "Who is this for?" Because this is
That's
an
been a
R-rated
through line
movie.
for me too.
Yeah.
Was
Like-
this is, who is this movie for?
It's not for adults who are going to watch a movie want to go like, "Oh, I'm really interested in that high school love story."
Yeah. Am I going to have to make all the first moves in this relationship? And it's like,
Waka waka.
she's just
And it's
pushing
almost
you through a
please-
window. Jeez.
Please don't break the fourth wall after every line.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta,
He called me a retard, but I love him.
Yeah.
Was that okay, Mr.
favorite
Ratner?
This
We'll get to that.
this whole relationship to me feels like so many things made within the same time, and one that I reference that I'm going to reference specifically is a movie called Rapturepalooza.
I am not familiar.
I'm not saying.
Okay, it's the black guy from The Office that plays the piano.
Stanley.
No, not
Oh,
Stanley.
Craig,
Sorry, yes, Craig.
I forget.
Oh,
his
yeah.
last name.
Yes.
I saw him once. He's fantastic.
He's a
Stand-up,
funny
yeah.
guy. And then also, who's the chick from Pitch Perfect, the main girl? It's
Anna Kendrick.
Kendrick, right? They're in this, and Anna
Not
Kendrick.
a Pitch Perfect fan. Sorry, I was loaded with that one.
But they're in this movie called Rapturepalooza.
Yeah.
That was an advanced screening for me, where they hadn't even finished the graphics when I saw
Really?
that. One of the first things I saw here, and I was like, "Oh, is this the Hollywood experience? We get to see movies early." And I was like, "Oh wait, this movie's not finished."
You
right?
sweet, simple child.
I know, right? And then it never actually, it had such a limited theatrical release, but you can find it on Amazon, and I totally approve it. It's super funny, but it's another instance where we have this concept, right? Like killer Santa, right? Or in this sense, half the world got raptured, and what is it like when like the demons and everything
Oh
live
my
on
god,
Earth?
I've seen this.
Yeah.
It ends in a mansion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, spoiler, I haven't watched this yet.
because Craig
Actually, a pretty funny film
really?
that I
Craig
was like,
is
this
playing-
looks
Is it
shit.
still called Rapturepalooza?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
is playing the Beast.
I was like, no, I've seen it.
He's playing the Beast, which is
I believe it's Craig Robinson.
Yes,
I finally got
that's it.
And he's playing the Beast, which is like the second coming of the devil.
Okay.
Right? And he's just basically the president of the entire world now, right? And he's just like, yeah, who's the sexy beast, right? Just going around, right? But like, you have this great comedic concept and the whole thing of like, oh, the world has ended, right? But then you have this super forced romantic relationship between Anna Kendrick and her boyfriend, right? That doesn't really play. Just like this, where you have these two couples. I mean, these two people that are a couple, but I don't know. You kind of even stumble into the introduction that they are a couple.
Yeah,
like they just seem like coworkers.
They were.
It's horrible,
right? They seem like coworkers who like probably like each other, but haven't gone there yet.
No one's made a move yet.
Right.
And nobody cares.
We're just already 3 steps in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we missed something.
Nobody cares.
It's not. Nobody. It's not until she comes over their house and they get into a little quarrel, like about something I forget.
Which is like a scene later.
No, there's like 3 kills before that. There's
well, okay, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
We're like jumping to every other part in the movie except for the next scene.
Okay.
So they're at a deli.
Sounds like Memento.
Yeah, they work at the deli.
It's
sandwich
just
boy,
like
sandwich girl.
Extremely Jewish deli because there's one menorah.
And they're open on Christmas
and they're
Eve.
hanging bagels.
Yeah, they hang bagels from
there's
the menorah.
Like a crotchety old lady that's like,
oh, the old foul-mouthed lady.
Yeah,
like
the Make America Great
too.
Grandma.
Yeah. This is like Talbot or Talbot.
Yeah,
I think she was in Bumblebee.
You know, she's calling everybody choice language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she calls
sandwich girl, who I'm assuming is like a high school student. She
calls her a whore.
Calls her a whore.
Just on the way out goes, shut up, whore.
I did write. I would watch an entire movie with this woman, this character.
I would love to see her just get slapped across the face. Her kill was not satisfying enough.
That was not.
So, like, yeah, she upsets everyone in the deli. Yeah. They give her her sandwich and she walks away.
She says, thank you and go fuck yourself.
She's basically playing an over-the-top version of Mrs. Deagle.
I would have given her a second sandwich to the back of the head as she was walking out.
Yeah.
You forgot this.
And she pays in change. She pays with her loonies and toonies for
She takes $1 because she's like, $4.75, that's a ripoff. And he's like, how about $4.50?
Like, yeah. And
works for me, fuckface.
I mean, it's obvious.
Ever worked behind a counter has experience.
Yeah. But it's also obvious to everyone, and I think it's even obvious to her. Is like she's in a Jewish delicatessen.
She's like, why couldn't you throw up some Christmas decorations?
Yeah,
and there's like a menorah like on her hand.
Right. And that's why I was like, oh shit, she's literally playing the stereotype that we're all dealing with now, like 12 years later.
Someone says like happy holidays and she's like, say fucking Merry Christmas, you bitch. Like just
people keep trying to make that an issue, but nobody gives a shit. Like you just
I mean most people just don't. That us libs are supposed to be.
There's even that Christmas song where it's like happy holidays, where it's like
and they sing along and dance to it. They don't pitch a fit.
I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah.
At least where I live and around my area, nobody cares. I
understand the idea of someone being like, stop being so fucking inclusive.
If someone tells me like today or tomorrow, they're like, happy Kwanzaa, I'd be like, you too.
Right?
Like, I wouldn't care.
Someone is wishing you well. It doesn't matter what the thing is. They're like, hey, enjoy that. You're like, great.
Cool.
Exactly. But like on the other end of it, if somebody says Merry Christmas to me, I just go, oh, you too. I've never said, hey, happy holidays, buddy. Yeah. All right?
Yeah.
Hey, what if I was Jewish?
Yeah.
I just walk around trying to openly offend people by just saying, hey, baby, it's cold outside. That's all I do now.
They fire back and go, I don't understand that song. You're like, how's that my problem?
Yeah.
Right. So, Grandma leaves. They're all in the deli, and he
calls a 16-year-old a whore on her way out.
Yeah. Then the deli owner, he comes out. He's like, "I got you gifts," and it just looks like he got him 2 sandwiches from the deli because they're just in the deli bags, and one of them's
honestly, you work at a deli, you have wrapping.
Yeah,
you know that's great.
It's perfect.
It's economical,
easy. And then he gives the girl a snow globe, and he gives the guy a world clock.
Yeah.
Which, did he just have those in his office?
Look,
and was like, shit, a stapler?
I
no, I gave him a stapler.
But you'd think that plot device would actually have a throughway, and it doesn't really.
It's like they attempt to use it as a plot device, and then Goldberg just brushes it off. Like, I don't give a shit.
Just like everything else Goldberg
did. It's like in
did.
Freddy vs. Jason, where they're like, wait a minute, Freddy died by fire, Jason died by water, how can we use that? And then we never return to it?
Only one of them is actually afraid of it. Yeah.
I talked to that screenwriter about that. It was great. He did a panel at San Diego Comic-Con where he was talking about the horror characters and what their psychological problems were. Like taking it from a legitimate.
I'm dead.
Right.
My mom was kind of overprotective.
Form of abnormal psychology was affecting each of the horror characters and stuff like that. It was interesting. And
they think I'm a pedophile.
After the panel was over, I walked up to him and I was like, "Okay, we need to talk for a second."
Oh boy!
Wow.
I was like, "This is Jason being afraid of water thing," and he immediately threw his hands up, like, "I know, dude. They made me do that. All right." He's like, "I didn't want to do it." And having years later, done some screenwriting and had to deal with producer's notes, I totally get it now.
Yeah.
That you just have to go, fine, fuck it. I guess I'll
whatever.
I guess I'll make him afraid of water, even though every fucking movie he's just walked into the lake and come back out and been fine. It starts raining and he pisses himself.
Yeah, the fire sprinklers. God. So they get like you said, a plot device as a gift.
They get gifted plot devices.
Well, the snow globe.
It's just
he gets gifted a plot device, and then we cut over to Grandma, where she's driving, shit ass driver.
Yeah.
Don't get that. And she's trying to light a cigarette, but Santa's behind her with his I never watched the last Avatar, but it looks like that thing.
It just looks like a bison.
Yeah.
She's driving like the villain from Roadhouse when he's just all over the road. King of the road.
But yeah, she's flicking buns out the window. She's coughing and hacking, and he's honking behind her because old ladies driving.
By the way, this is exactly why they added that cold open. Now that I think about it, because imagine if you just started the movie in a deli and then a lady's driving home, and then they're like,
"The first time we see our villain of the story, he's just stuck behind an old woman in traffic."
Yeah, and they were like, "You know what? This doesn't work. We got can somebody get Catan?"
It's weird because it's I swear,
Catan on the phone.
The deli, it was daytime. And then...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
The grandma, it's nighttime.
I don't think you realize how slow she drives.
Yeah, right. And then they go back to them getting off work, and it's daytime, and he gets home, and it's daytime.
This movie takes place over 17 days.
A lot of time jumps.
Right? 17 days and 2 days. So I'm thinking that they did some reshuffling of scenes in the beginning. Because if that Christmas dinner was later, because it looks like nighttime when the opening kills our Christmas dinner, because it is a dinner.
Unless they're doing one of those 3 p.m. dinners like some families do.
No, thank you.
Oh, we do that because it's you can get trashed, then you eat, and then you get more trashed and fall asleep.
I mean, it's kind of nice. I know
one meal a day. You don't have to.
Year before last, I remember my wife and I went to the big family dinner thing, and it ended so early that we ended up going out for Korean barbecue for dinner that night.
Yeah, that's
you're shit. I'm hungry.
That was my whole childhood. Was Sunday dinners at my grandfather's, and it was church was over at 12. And then get home, and things would be on the table by 1.
Yeah.
And even as a kid, I'd be like by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'd be like, what's up? And they're like, you already ate.
Hey,
and I'm like, what?
No, my family just replaces the actual dinner time with alcohol.
That ain't bad.
And some
I was
leftovers.
A child.
It's happy hour at the house.
Hey, my mom gave me wine as a kid, so that's why it turned out so good.
On your gums?
No, she just little sherry glasses. She just poured red wine in that.
Yeah. He's drunk.
Here's a shot of brandy.
Kids.
Yeah. So I think there is just I think they just reordered scenes for this first night because
there was a lot
nothing
of
really
don't
makes
ask
sense.
questions approach.
Yeah.
So just this doesn't make any. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because if you brought that old lady back halfway through the movie, people are like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
You're right. So it's get it right now.
So he runs her off the road. Very unsatisfying death. He's pulling a sleigh with this gigantic demon bison thing.
Yeah, they call it a hell deer later.
A hell deer.
Yeah. But it's clearly not a deer of any kind.
No.
It's just a bison.
Yeah.
Except the animals definitely had credits. Like they retrofitted a deer with a big head, or they just used actual bison. I don't know, but they both had names.
I don't know because I couldn't tell. I was like, is it a puppet? Is it not a puppet?
I think it was a blend.
Okay, I think so too because there is like
a cotton polyester.
An outtake where like it runs away on them or something. So,
and was I wrong in seeing that later in the film its nose is glowing red like Rudolph?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it has a
when
spotlight
it flies,
at one point.
Yeah.
I thought it was like scanning, like
Look,
man, he's got a cyborg bison.
I just thought it had just a crazy head.
Well, even at one point, Santa's eyes glow red. And then
that
he
was
coughs
weird
a
too.
Fireball.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, as
like
we'll get
he's
into,
Bowser now.
He is the Antichrist.
Right.
Right.
I mean, obviously they were going to go all epic, and get the 9 reindeer and all that stuff, and then they show up to set. They're like, well, we couldn't get any reindeer, but we got a bison.
We were pressed for time, so
we took
got
it
one
from
bison.
Catalina Island, shipped it here,
We
did
got
the reverse.
Okay, so that's a weird thing too. Okay, and let's put a pin in that because we'll introduce Grandpa and then he'll tell the origin story and we can go back to that. Okay.
Well, so they leave work. She gives him a ride home because he's on a crappy scooter. Also, does this town? The town is called Hell.
Hell Township.
Hell Township.
The good old Mr. Boogity thing again. Right?
Do they not own snowplows?
Lucifer's
Because that
asshole.
street is just like ice, snow, slush.
It's Canada. They just give up.
Yeah,
Sometime of
like,
year
no,
they just go,
whatever.
fuck it.
That's like
Which
Alaska.
he's trying to start a scooter, and it's like your tires are in the snow. How are you gonna go?
Look,
anywhere?
Sandwich Boy's not a smart
He
smart
is a
kid.
dumbass.
He is not. He is really not. I'm very sad that he was our lead.
Even by
honestly.
Hell Township standards, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So-
When you start to follow Sandwich Boy, you're like, oh no.
Oh god,
Not this one.
Yeah, he gets dropped off at home, and he's got like a key hidden everywhere in the front. Like, why doesn't he just have a keychain?
Oh, I thought. You know what? I saw it. There was like 8 keys or something like that.
Yeah, he lives there. It'd be one thing if he was just visiting Grandpa, but he lives there.
Like
so why don't
Grandpa's
you
the
have
weird doomsday prepper, so he
He
knows
is.
there's a way to get in that you have to...
right? Or at
to
least like
figure out
you
the Legend
have
of
all the
Zelda
keys on your
a
own
slide
keychain.
puzzle like a Lego game.
Yeah. Why would you have to go through the hidden keys around the area when you live there?
Yeah, some people are like that. I know Mike does that at his house. It's like
Of course,
playing Legends of the Hidden Temple trying to get into your apartment.
Yep.
It's like,
goddamn
why are you
silver
putting
monkey!
the monkey on a head upside down?
The pole is last.
And Mike's voice is just laughing at me through a head.
Takes about a half hour to get in. I keep
Easter
telling
Island
him,
head
I'm like,
tackles me.
If you don't put the monkey together in time, the temple guard will get you, Bobby, and you have to start over.
I
hate
still
going to
stand
your
by
house,
that.
Mike.
That whole thing was cheap. That stupid maze where it's just like, here's a guard, and then they're done. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, that's
Hey, that kid can't get the fucking prize, all
A
right?
Wizard of Oz tree grabbed you.
I was like, it doesn't make sense.
He's gonna make it. He's gonna get that vacation. No, fuck. Send the temple guard.
I want the guard to like go too far though and just knock him out of like the entire maze, and everyone's like,
Just
he
boot
broke
him
his
like
neck.
it's Wipeout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
guess
Huffy
what?
bike
With
for
no
you.
water in the pool.
Little hidden fact: the temple guards are actually Nickelodeon executives. And they're like, no,
Don't get our money.
We're only allowed 5 wins this season, which is I heard that was an actual thing where they like designed it. They're like, we only got sponsors
that's
for
how
about
all
5
games
wins.
are.
Hell
on
yes,
Make sure no one
television.
won past
Yeah.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
But also, like, it always frustrated me, like we're saying, is that you would watch it and you'd go, well, what the fuck? Like, did you not watch the show before you went on it?
Yeah.
That's
You know?
true of every
Like-
show you
Oh,
ever
God.
watch, though.
Right?
Every
Like, how many
fucking
people
time.
on a competitive cooking show are like, I'm not a pastry chef. I'm like, have you ever watched this?
And then
you
I-
should know how to cook shit.
I always felt like it was some weird consolation prize where, like, the main prize would be like, and you won an all-expense trip paid to Orlando. They're like, we're already here. They're like, yeah, but you spent the
live
whole
here.
day here
Yeah.
because we pulled you out of the park.
Well,
to
you
do
know, the
this.
thing about that show is I actually watched a whole thing about it, and they casted those kids, and they were all
Those were
local
all
anyways.
actors?
So
Oh.
they weren't even on vacation.
How do you cast
You're telling
being
me
a
Legends
dumbass?
of the Hidden Temple was a
Because they are
work?
dumb.
No, because they've never seen
We've
the
gone
show.
through this.
What?
We've gone through the game show process of casting total dumbasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Like,
well,
it
we've
was-
never told this story.
It was for
All
a
right,
face.
crisscross applesauce, Mike. We're going to hear a story.
So this is something that like I didn't know existed. It was a Facebook Live game show.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. So
Nothing good happens on Facebook
It was annoying.
Live. I've
Nothing.
watched the dudes.
It,
this is bad. It was like
I don't
knockoff
know.
Aziz Ansari.
yes.
Like would go in like the week before the show and would be like,
Aziz, I'm sorry.
yeah, it was like, all right, guys, like we gotta do some like quizzes, like
Yeah, it'd
all
be
right,
like,
so you
throw the
vote in
horns,
the
throw the
comments, like,
horns, throw the
and then
horns.
there was like some disembodied head dude, and so they like
it was like watching Tom on Parks and Rec.
just
like
it pissed
host
me
a
off
show.
so much.
Right?
But we had to watch it to like have an opportunity. So, like, because one of our friends contacted us and was
opportunity.
like, hey, this would be funny and, like, fun to do. And we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we can fake it. We can do this. But so, like, you watch this live video and, like, the Facebook people that are into this, like, they vote, they, like, pick answers.
Kind of like what's the one with Steve Harvey? The
Family Feud.
Yeah, kind of like in the sense of like what did our Facebook viewers
what do most people
respond
think
to
that
more?
like do? Because like our episode was cats and dogs themed, or the one that we were going to do, and so they were like, "Oh, do you think that people prefer like more dogs or cats? Or like if you were a cat, would you like fish or would you like yarn?"
And Family Feud
like,
style, you had to guess what the people were going to vote on?
We just pretty much.
Kinda. And then you had to do
No,
like
it's just a
weird
rip-off of
stupid
Family
activities
Feud
where at
with,
one
like,
point we
less
were gonna have to be
answers.
like walked on a leash and move a ball with our nose.
All right.
But so this game, like they shot in a park, not even a dog park,
Jesus.
just
it
a
would-
park.
it would-
You were going to get on a leash
It was
for
a different
park show?
No, it was a different setting per the theme of the
like,
week.
Oh,
one of
okay.
them was sports, and they did it in a gymnasium. Like
You're at the local park filming our
Yeah.
next episode.
it was like
Hey, get that crack out of
it was actually
here.
a pretty like decent setup, and so we get there already. Like one of our three people was like,
She dropped out.
she
It's like, I'm
she
not
got
putting
sick.
on a leach and going on all fours.
So
Group
we're already
projects,
down
am I
one
right?
person, but
Yep.
it's like they bring in 4 groups of 3 to like see how everyone's doing that day, and then they take like the 2 main groups and they use them for the day. The other 2 groups, everyone gets $150 right off the bat, then they get to go home. So we showed up
That's a
for
good
2 hours,
Yeah.
2.5
Can I go
hours, got
home,
$150, and then we got to leave. And the other group that was like, God, we're so glad we didn't get cast as well. We were like, okay, cool. So like we like actually talked with them, and like they were actually all pretty cool. But then the other people, like they had to do like
That's how you end up in a Saw movie.
Yeah.
it kind of like so one group was like 30 to 40-year-old moms that had a lot of plastic surgery done that were like, oh my God, like we're all happy. Like, okay, so Karen, like think of like some wine. Like what color of wines are there?
Yeah, they wanted you to talk it out. Everything's like talk out your how you're getting to the answer that you're going to, because that's how we extend it 2.5 an hour.
And as
right?
Holy
podcasters, we find that
God.
tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
go
other
ahead.
group was
Well, when it's not genuine.
I gotta talk it out.
Yeah, talk how your brain works.
Well, when
Just
it's
go
not
do it.
genuine, when they're like, what do people prefer more, like Chihuahuas or this when it comes to Taco Bell? And you're
Yeah.
like, fucking Chihuahuas.
It's the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing, where you have to like tell a childhood
Exactly.
trauma story.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah.
That's why I like that first guy who won the million, because he just like said the answer. John Carpenter. Did you guys ever see that?
And they're
No.
like,
Yeah.
never again will we cast somebody that's
and then
good
like a
and
fucking
boring.
boss, that last question for the million, he calls his dad and just like,
it's like,
"Fuck
I
these
just
guys,
want to
I
let
want
you
$1
know,
million."
Dad. I just want $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, call
Suck
them
it, old
just-
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you.
So it was.
But it was just-
it was awful in the sense of like watching these people talk it out, be extremely fake, and how does this relate to Santa's Sleigh?
Game shows.
totally
fake
Oh well,
it.
that's how they casted this movie.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
Oh, yeah.
tell us how your brain works while you're in the sandwich
Did
shop.
we literally get here from idiots? Was that the idea? It's like, this lead character is an idiot. Then like
Well,
20
no.
minutes later, we're talking about game shows on Facebook.
No, we were talking about unlocking the doors.
That's
That was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Sandwich Boy is not a smart boy.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
He would definitely be on a game show.
it was just that overly like making it too complicated to make it like, oh, because we were talking about
they
Legends
can't build
of the Hidden
they
Temple.
can't build the monkey.
Yeah.
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 To where it's just like they definitely
In
They
what
do
world
what
does
they
the
do.
head not
Yeah.
go on top, kid? And they're just
You're still mad about that.
why is the tail in the front? It's
Well,
not a
because
penis. This
I-
is family
I'm upset
television.
when they put the midsection into the square base
yeah, and you're.
to start.
We don't need to get on this, but Sandwich Boy would be a great contestant.
Welcome
The
back to Podcast of the Hidden Temple.
Producers
I
would love them.
I would go through every single episode.
Let's do
You
it.
don't
That's
even
our
know.
new show.
Oh,
I'm ready.
I'm done. I'm down.
And if you join our Patreon at the Blue Barracuda tier,
So, yeah, he gets inside and he's like, Grandpa? All right. Which is like my biggest...
Yeah.
I hate when people walk into houses and are like, Sally, are you here?
Well, because at
Okay,
this
I'm
point,
alone.
I do have to do that when I visit my grandmother.
Yeah, but like...
because she
I
might
would
be
go through-
diddling
I have a-
herself
yeah,
in the
I
other
have
room.
a key. Because
No,
one time
'cause-
I walked in while she was in the fridge. And
What?
I'm sorry. In
She's
the
rude.
Walk-in fridge.
yeah, she's gonna.
She didn't watch that Punky Brewster episode where you get stuck
She
in the
was
fridge?
stuck in a fridge, and I had to help her. No, no, she was looking for something in the fridge, and I walked in. I was a young asshole, and so I stood behind the fridge door,
So the only
so that
thing
when
that's
she closed
changed
the
is
fridge, there
ditch.
was a man in the house.
Well, see, that's
like the mirror trick from horror movies.
Basically, yeah. So
Wow.
she's like, trying to get some lunch meat out of the fridge, and then she closes the door, and my burly ass is standing there, and she screamed. Like
I was your ass out.
Almost kills her grandma.
That guy's ass out.
But no, it's the whole thing of like, yes, like you're going into the house, you're looking for the person that's there, but then after one yell, you're like, oh, okay, and then like you just go on with the rest of
you
your
just
night.
drop your
where it's
pants
like,
and just start wagging it.
Until he said that, I thought he broke
I'm here
in.
by myself.
I thought he broke in at first because he's kind of sneaking around and he's getting all these keys.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Then he said Grandpa. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he's, I don't know, eating dinner, watching some TV thing. Oh, he's watching the
horny Asian housewives bowl.
Yeah. Where it's like the Golden
Brett Ratner
Showers
produced
versus something lawyers. Like
That, I mean, that's one of those weird inside jokes that crosses that line of being like, oh shit, do not go into Thanksgiving territory.
that's exactly what I thought of. I was like, this is so Thanksgiving in this
I
moment.
can see that.
I think this is a pilot Ratner's produced for sure.
For
100%.
sure.
So then he hears a crash and the power goes out, which is like, okay. And he goes into the basement.
So now
tries to
classic
find a
horror
power
movie
box.
bullshit.
Minutes
Yeah.
pass,
We
by
got
the
a
way.
flashlight.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Yeah. We're just hanging out in the dark with this kid.
And then like he flips on like the power, and then you hear another box drop behind him, and his grandpa is there, and he's like, that's the second box of light bulbs I dropped tonight. And it turns out he dropped a box of light bulbs because he was replacing a light bulb, but didn't know
In
if the
his
light
bunker.
switch was on or off, so he
Yeah.
just shut the power off to the
Well, 'cause
entire house.
he's a real Doc Brown. We got the wacky.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote the same thing.
That's
Which,
what
by
we're
the
going
way,
I thought it was Bruce Dern for a while.
yeah,
Bruce Dern
Yeah.
in Nebraska.
yeah, very. Because he's an inventor,
Yeah.
right? And he shows them.
We even have the classic, like, I need to put some exposition in my dialogue. She's
Oh,
like, Grandpa, are you on one of your wacky invention bitches?
I also
Bitches.
wrote Dog Brown.
Hey, bitches.
Yeah, I
You
wrote
love
Dog
a
Brown
good
as well.
invention.
You want to sell me a subscription?
Yeah, like
I don't know how, but they found me.
But he shows him his invention, and
Where
he's
I'm
like,
like-
check this out. It's a nutcracker. I'm like, dude, did nobody tell Grandpa these
It's
have been
a-
invented for
Same
like
thing with the
centuries?
Walkman thing. That was dumb.
we had iPods at that point,
Because
yeah.
like
You
in
know,
2005.
Big, blocky Game Boy ones.
Yeah.
And one would
But
argue
even then,
like,
we had
oh, he's
Walkman, like we had CD players,
right, and
like,
one would argue, oh, he's a hermit, he stays inside. But it's like, yeah, but also
there's a TV.
there's TVs all over the place.
I gotta
And
say, though, a Nutcracker gun is kind of cool.
yeah, but he doesn't establish as a nutcracker gun. He just goes, yeah, it's a nutcracker.
Well, he does shoot it.
Well, but he explains it. He goes, well, if you get chestnuts too hot, they shoot.
which
No, he explains
didn't
it if
come
a
to
chest-
play out.
What?
Yeah,
yeah, it did.
Later
Yeah,
in the
it
film.
does.
This
It
is,
does
this is
blow up,
setting up for
though.
later.
No, you're right.
I
No,
was waiting
no,
for the
yeah.
explosion.
That's
it's
the
another thing
thing.
we abandoned.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
because
That's
I think
the comment
I
because
think
he's like, if you don't puncture a chestnut and you put it on a fire, it will blow up.
Yeah.
So then
Oh,
I
later,
thought he said if you punctured it without heating it.
No, it was what Jared said, though.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you heat
If
it up
you-
without putting a puncture
So
in
I'm
the
like,
skin, it'll
blow
explode.
up.
So I go, is there like a heater in the nutcracker or something? Like what? Then why does it shoot
Well,
out of there?
that's
I
what
don't
I
know.
was
he's just
expecting
getting- no, he's
later.
just
Also, why does it
because,
have that pull string in the back? Like it's gonna talk like me me me.
No, he was just setting up for later. is
Yeah,
all.
but
He's just
if-
giving
as
you
I'm
fun
saying, I'm
facts
like-
about chestnuts.
So he's invented a nutcracker.
Yeah,
Great.
cool.
Okay.
A nutcracker that like it just slips the nut out instead of actually cracking it. Like,
Yeah.
if you've ever had that accident where it's just like blit.
Because I don't think anybody actually uses a nutcracker to crack nuts.
No,
I think
No,
it's just a
you
decoration.
pretty much
Yeah.
probably break the wood before you break the nut at all times.
Yeah.
There's a joke in there.
Is it getting warm in here?
It's been warm the whole time. I'm burning up in this sweater.
Your
Because you didn't
mistake.
puncture the skin first.
That's right.
Yeah, stab yourself.
So yeah, he's like,
He shows him a bunker. Like I'm trying to
yeah.
speedball through this round because it is.
Yeah, he's got like the panic room.
All of this is pointless in this movie for the most part. It's just a movie used for kills.
Yeah.
well,
So-
and,
Like so
And
many
that's
slashers.
really
a
all I
sweet-
want to talk
and,
about.
a
and
sweet
that's
love
and that's what
story.
happened next is like
We cut away to Santa getting mugged.
right. Why is he working at the Salvation Army?
It doesn't make
By
sense.
the way, don't
It
give
does
your money
not
to
make
Salvation
sense.
No,
Army.
definitely not.
They're
Definitely not.
homophobic.
It
Oh.
does
10,000%. It's
Yeah.
really bad.
Okay,
It does not make sense.
They're a bunch of assholes.
Libtard podcast.
Yeah.
Apparently, Goldberg also panhandles or something while it's going on.
I think he's just baiting, and not the way I am right
Like
now.
Master,
but I meant,
Oh my god, it sticks out!
Oh no, I can't control it. No, I think he's just doing it because he knew someone would try to roll him. He's trying to shake off some dust so he can get ready for the big kill tonight. The one
Yeah.
he was fantasizing about in the prologue.
Yeah. So he has a candy cane in his mouth, right?
Which honestly, if you've ever sucked a candy cane down to a shiv, like, you could do this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's done that. That's what you do with the candy cane. You get it down until it's a weapon, and then you toss it.
Accidentally, like, pierce your tongue, and you're like, well, I've got a tongue piercing now. I guess it's 1990.
I guess I'm punk now.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
he's got my barbell.
He kills that guy who tries to rob him.
Yeah, some guy comes and goes, what's up, bitch? And he puts the candy cane in his
Yeah.
And that's that scene.
Yep.
Throws his ass in a dumpster next to Evil.
That's
Probably
true,
still hanging out in there from New Year's Evil. You just see him with the lighter.
Hey!
Hey, this one's occupied.
This is mine. Then we cut back to Grandpa's house.
I guess they're still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he starts telling him the story of Satan's child, Santa.
And he starts off by saying, like, I see no reason to commercialize Christmas. And he's telling him why he thinks Christmas is bullshit.
Yeah.
And, Santa wasn't always the lovable poster boy for Coca-Cola. Got him.
I know.
And
by the way,
he also farts on his grandson during
that's
this.
a minute-long joke of a fart, where it's more confusing.
As opposed to what we used to do, which is a minute-long fart of a joke.
I've pulled this joke on people before where I'm like,
he does it
I'm
in
sorry.
Here.
And they go, what? Oh.
Yeah, but you see, that works in real life. In a movie, it doesn't translate. You're just watching it going...
It doesn't work in real life either.
So did he...
What we're going to do is we're going to have fucking smell-o-vision. It's going to be great.
It's just... And
then what if frat boy William Castle?
Yeah.
What if Grandpa goes up the stairs, he farts, and then he smells it? It's a 70-minute movie. We got to get to 71 minutes, so we can add a 1 minute fart joke.
Yeah.
And then, so he pulls out his book, starts telling him the story. There's a page-turning machine, which is
so
like...
stupid.
Which, by the way, it doesn't even work. It just fucking crumples
I know,
the...
it turned 8 pages at once, and I was like, oh, efficient. You can skip all of those Game of Thrones books.
Who reads a book while you're kneeled forward in a chair looking at a music rack, basically?
And who can't just, like, flip? Like, what's wrong
That's
with
not the
Grandpa's
problem
hands?
with the book, yeah.
And while he's flipping through the Santanomicon...
oh, by the way.
That was great.
Bobby, it's interesting you say that because the movie is not that clever. They just go, what's that, like the Necronomicon or something?
He says it wrong, too. He calls it the Necronomicon.
Necronomicon?
And like, no one knew.
Oh, I wear a Necronomicon on my head sometimes.
And the grandson also finds this like winged H medal that he has.
Yeah, I was like, was he in the Third Reich?
Like,
yeah. Immediately I went to
Nazi.
Yeah.
He's one of those Nazis who went into hiding.
So much like a Nazi.
And that's why he's got the bunker, and that's why he's like making nutcrackers that
would have
shoot.
been such a better movie.
But then,
he goes, I didn't know you were in the military, Grandpa. And he goes, I wasn't.
And
he says something about how he served. Sorry.
Oh, that was it. He just was a Nazi.
Yeah, he said something about how he served. But I don't. He's just like, I served for a long time or something. We kind of gloss over that.
We don't worry about that because we're getting into the story now as he opens the Book of Claws.
But that does come out just later. Just as stupid.
For no reason.
It's the dumbest thing.
Such little payoff for every setup in this movie.
Which, like, if you're gonna bring that back, bring back the snow globe from Delaware or whatever it was. Like, maybe she throws it at his head. Even that would be like, oh, cool, she had it in her car. And
we gotta do the old. This whole thing was taking place in a snow globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Would have been better.
Like the City of Candor.
Toilet.
Or like the ending of the Power Rangers movie.
Oh,
what?
Oh, Men in Black?
Power Rangers movie.
Oh.
There was a snow globe ending at the Power Rangers movie?
Yeah, you don't remember?
Point, yeah, he puts, I can't remember her name. Oh my God.
Duh.
Rita
Repulsa.
Yeah, Rita Repulsa. And, muscle exposed man. Zed. Oh God, he's a DJ.
I thought you meant the most recent Power Rangers movie.
No.
That's what threw me off. I'm
the Power Rangers movie with
Zed.
Ivan
No,
Ooze.
the only one.
Yeah. My boy Zed, yeah.
He puts him in a snow globe. Ivan Ooze does.
You know, our last episode, the one in the feed prior to this one.
Yeah.
Well, no, this won't be in our feed, but the one, our last episode before the Christmas one, had the guy who voiced Lord Zed.
Yeah, I've met him.
Characters.
I've worked on a
Mike
project
knows
with
that
him. Yeah, it was very funny
Nice.
to learn that he was the voice of Zed.
Just the muscle suit, just always just
yeah. He wore that on
a great look for that.
He wore that on set, which was really weird. Yeah.
Just walked around the Lord Zed. But you were dressed like Goldar, so it worked.
Yeah. Oh, Goldar.
Is he your favorite too?
It's my brother's favorite, and then because I just latch onto everything.
That's
my brother
just Randy
likes.
Savage.
Yeah. New Goldar was terrible though.
That was the fucking worst.
I couldn't believe they did that.
And I love
similar
their
to the most
space
recent Ninja
suits.
Turtles movie where I was like, oh, Bebop and Rocksteady are in it, and Casey Jones. Okay, I'm gonna love this.
Right.
I did not love this.
No.
Yeah. Well, we'll do new Power Rangers later.
Hey,
this is not what
you
we're
guys give me a call and you cover the new Power Rangers.
Well, what a great first 2 acts for a horrible third.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
So
the edging was amazing, but God, that shoot.
It always is, isn't it?
It's like, why did I jerk off for 3 hours just to do that?
That sting was full of shit, man.
What's happening in our lives?
So we're explaining the backstory for Santa Claus.
Are
And the
we?
idea was that,
We're so not in this
Satan
movie.
impregnated the Virgin Erica.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Erica.
The Virgin Erica carried the Antichrist, and
Tammy, the Virgin Tammy.
Satan is very uncreative with naming his son.
Yeah.
He just sort of moved a couple letters.
It's pronounced Satine.
I got things to do. I don't have time for this.
Yeah. I'll just shuffle.
And so they considered Santa's birthday the Day of Slayings. They say it in Icelandic, but I didn't write it down. Anyone get that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All of the Icelandic, I was like, yeah, that's a language. I can't.
That's how I write to any language other than my own.
Is this where we get the stop motion?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, no.
Girlfriend shows up.
Yeah, not yet.
No, it's not yet, but that's actually pretty cool when they do the reindeer.
Girlfriend shows
Yeah.
up, and then we get stop motion.
Right.
Well,
But for
girlfriend
now-
shows up, and then it's church, and then stop motion?
Okay,
Yeah,
Sandwich
that's
Girl.
how it goes.
Sandwich Girl does show up.
Yes, but we're not there yet.
He's really
not?
Bobby is really
that
into
should
this
be, because
Norse
they
mythology.
get barely into that book. They get like a page into that
He
story,
starts
and
reading.
then girlfriend shows up.
Right.
But they explain that his birthday is considered the Day of Slayings.
Yeah.
So on his birthday, Santa goes ape shit and just starts killing everybody.
Yeah.
And with the rise of Christianity, people would spend that day in mass praying for protection from their Christ. You know, that
And it
Jesus
was
guy.
Christ Mass.
Exactly.
Which
and
I was
that's
like,
how we
ugh.
got Christmas. And then there's a knock on the door, and it's Emilie de Ravin.
Yeah, so Sandwich Girl comes
Emilie
over,
de
right?
Ravin. Emil's her brother.
And she goes, hey, I got you a gift because Sandwich Boy's on and on about how he hates Christmas. He said in the car ride home, he goes, I hate Christmas because I'd always ask for something cool and I get an
Like
easy
Optimus
bake oven.
Prime or the Castle Grayskull, and I'd
Yeah.
always get an easy bake.
I couldn't quite figure out.
It's gone.
I was like, how old are you?
Yeah, also I
I
was
had
like,
that thought too, but for 2005, that actually kind of fits with his age.
That would be
He'd
what
be an
I
80s
was
kid.
at that time.
And that would have been what you wanted.
Well,
Yeah.
if he
I
was
would-
16 in 2005, he would have been born 89.
I just
90,
like to imagine that he.
which I'd never. Castle Grayskull was not.
That
my
was well
time.
before that.
Yeah.
I'd like.
Yeah.
I just imagine. I was like,
Optimus
oh,
Prime
well,
too, honestly.
I did have
Because
some Transformers.
for your era,
though.
Optimus Prime was a monkey.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus.
we
You were
did
coming up
have
with
the
the Beast Wars.
Transformers,
I don't want to talk about
but
that.
not the original Transformers.
Right.
but so he hates Christmas, but I do love this
and
part.
he hates it for such like capitalist reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He hates
he's
it
a
for-
little shit because you're like, fuck you, dude.
Also,
you know, like
I gotta
everybody
say-
doesn't get what they ask for sometimes, but he's like, no, I hate Christmas in general because I never get the presents I want.
And I don't know if I'm just
Alright.
a weird ass or whatnot, but I'd have been fucking psyched for an easy bake.
Yeah, that
As
was,
a little fat kid. in the
Maybe
'80s,
the maybe the creepy
I loved
crawlers
Easy
version.
Bake.
oh, I
just
had
was an
creepy
easy
crawlers.
bake.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I had
I was like, wait, whoa, I can make cookies in my room.
right.
Yeah.
I
Great.
can have dessert and have it be a toy, but
Yeah.
also
Did anybody
still
ever
it.
eat them?
Yeah,
Of course.
I was
I've
hungry.
never even had it. Okay, if somebody's out there with an easy bake oven that is like, oh, we're
Well,
local,
it's
and
probably
I
a
will,
little old now.
I will bring it. No, I don't care. I want to
I don't know if
try
it
it.
still works.
I've never been able.
And then later
to
they
try
updated the creepy crawlers to where you can make edible creepy crawlers, like
Yeah.
little gummies.
with weed.
Yeah, little edibles.
Little edibles.
But yeah, she
Creepy
comes over and she
crawlers,
goes,
man.
I'm going to make your Christmas better. And hands him a fucking handgun.
Yeah. After giving his granddad a Wolverine.
Literal Wolverine.
Like dead Wolverine.
Like a dead Wolverine
What the hell
on a
was
Which
plate.
that?
like this movie
Well, because her
goes
dad's
between
an avid hunter, which comes up later.
And it's
yeah.
Right, but still.
This
got
movie
hair on
like
it.
fluxes between
it's
like
Wolverine.
outlandish weird what the hell
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
like oh okay it's just kind of like a oh no scary Santa movie.
Yeah.
And then we just sprinkle in some races
But no,
and bring it
yeah.
all together.
Yeah.
But she hands him a handgun wrapped in a towel.
And it's my favorite line because he goes
Here, I need you to get rid of this for me.
Yeah, because
I
he's like,
killed a Wolverine.
he looks at her, he's like, you gave me a fucking gun?
well he
Well,
goes
his actual line that I have written down is, you got me a gun? I don't want to sound ungrateful, but what are you, fucking retarded?
it was my favorite
He's not-
line.
he's not wrong.
everybody.
It was so good.
He's not wrong.
And then she
I don't
shows
wanna sound
him. She's like,
ungrateful,
whoa,
but
whoa,
what do
whoa,
you-
whoa, whoa. And she goes, here. And she shows him as she starts transforming the gun into, like, this knockoff Megatron.
What kind of fucking
She has a
Transformers
good-
they got in
She got him
Canada,
a fucking
man?
robot.
And
This-
she's got him another
Canadian Transformers.
this is like the Transformers that I see at the Mexican market that I
swap
go
meet.
to.
Yeah. This is like, whoa.
It's a transmorpher for sure.
Transmorpher.
And then we
And
get
it looks
another.
It looks
also-
like a real handgun.
And the little 80s nerd that I was just like, he asked for Optimus. You gave him Megatron. Yet
Well,
another
see,
Christmas.
that is true.
where
I
he
was
doesn't
still-
get what he
that
wanted.
is
He's going to
true.
be so sad.
He like folds it back together, and I was still expecting him to like pull the trigger and have a bullet come out because I was like, it
Well, yeah.
seems like it could be a fully
But that
functional
bullet turned
gun.
into a cassette tape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
turned
like,
into a robot.
And you'd also think that maybe it'll come back later, where
Yeah.
maybe he like points the gun at Santa, and Santa's like, "All right, hold on," and then he fakes him out because he thinks it's a real gun.
It
What an
doesn't.
anticlimactic ending that would be.
I mean,
he pulls a toy gun on Santa and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Yeah.
Let's be cool. I'm not trying to. Look, I know I've done some shit tonight.
Well, something. I don't know. Maybe the gun is used to get them out of, I don't know, the police are going to
Any
arrest them.
situation,
Yeah,
yeah.
anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, she gives it to him, and he winds up using it as a tool in this adventure.
No.
Nope.
The
Swing and
best
miss.
thing that comes out of this gun is that she's like, yeah, my brother asked for like, I don't know, a Barbie, but my dad got him this. Like that should have been clear enough that he's a homosexual.
Yeah.
Like, and then later you see him and he's got like a rainbow stripe around his beret that he's wearing hunting.
Wait a second. Her brother of, what is he, about 20?
Yeah.
Oh, and he asked
I
for a
guess.
Barbie for Christmas?
Well, no, that like, because she says like, I found this in our basement because
Oh.
my brother asked for like something similar that's like effeminate. A
Okay,
Polly
which,
Pocket.
by the
I
way,
don't know.
if you're
Again,
giving,
I'd have been psyched for it.
if you're giving somebody
like,
a gift,
clamshell toy.
if you're giving somebody a gift, don't tell them, yeah, I just found this shit in our basement.
Yeah.
It's like, it brings the whole luster out
What
of
a
it.
nice romantic relationship these two have.
I know.
Well, this is the part where
by
you're
the way,
like, wait,
I don't
they're-
want to bulldoze this either, but after calling her retarded, he also says, "Man, I'm as happy as a Make-A-Wish kid." 2005.
Because they're just literally just like they're taking stabs in the dark out of pop culture that really have no bearing on anything else in the movie, and being like, oh, what if we stabbed at the fact that people say Happy Holidays? What if we stabbed at the fact that like Make-A-Wish always like wants to celebrate Christmas time?
I'm just glad Starbucks wasn't around during this time, so they couldn't be like these fucking coffee cups.
It's definitely
Yeah,
around.
definitely
Well, it wasn't as
honored.
big.
Oh, you mean
The
the
cup
coffee
thing.
cup
Yeah.
thing?
The fake outrage about the
Yeah.
coffee cups. But yeah, this is the thing you see online all the time. This entire movie is just people trying so hard to be edgy, but they have no wit to back it up.
Yeah.
well, they don't.
And edge without cleverness is the worst kind of humor.
I mean, look, these actors are trying, I guess, but it's not working, man.
Well, look
It's
at
not
it,
Because
working.
it's the writer. It's not them as much as the writer.
It's just
I
gotta
feel
be a
like a
personal
lot of
assistant.
times.
I don't know.
Well, I
these
The girl, okay. The girl was great. I thought, like,
She was
Are
amazing.
we watching
in
the same
Lost.
movie?
right? Huh?
No,
I-
okay. Her line delivery did sometimes suck, but she's like been in decent things.
Yes,
she's
and-
a good actress, but
Well,
like
you're
I
right.
think her her source material wasn't the best.
Look, there are two things when it comes to a movie for sure, and one is the director being able to get a performance out of somebody, which is
Sure.
very true because you can see Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights, which is fantastic, and then you can see any other movie.
Mark Wahlberg in
Yeah,
anything else.
yeah. But in this, it's like clearly
resent that.
they aren't capable of doing
Kill a
this.
Santa, bro.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
They aren't capable of doing this on their own.
Well, she is
Absolutely
Australian,
not.
so she probably was very shocked by the
So,
cold.
She was like, "What's a Santa?"
It was just weird to be holding a gun.
aside from her,
She's like,
aside from me thinking that she's adorable, like she's beautiful,
Certainly.
right? I just thought the character that she played, like that kind of girl that like kind of take charge, I'm very much into personality wise anyway. So like I was like, yeah, I'll go with
horny
that.
on Maine for her.
That's right.
Yeah, so you're just revved up this whole time.
No, but like I'm not praising her just because I felt attracted to the character and her as an actor. I'm praising it because I feel like if that was what they're going for, she headed out of the park with just the complete opposite to what he is, which is like not a good lead for this thing at all.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, to her credit, she manages to be the only likable character. In
Mhm.
this movie.
Oh, I thought they were both
That's,
about on the
thank you
same
for summing
level.
it up. That's about Oh, you were not. You didn't.
No,
like
here's it. Ready?
a curmudgeon.
She goes, "Oh, do I have to do the rest of this relationship for both of us?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Okay, that's."
you know
She
what?
just grabs his hands and puts them on her
Let's,
boobs, which I was
uh,
like, that's not how you push someone through a window. By
Yeah,
the boobs.
shoulders.
Here, I got you a gun.
Yeah.
It's just, all right.
Well, so then they get into a fight because
Tell Paul
he's...
Lind that's not how you push somebody through a window. Look it up, kids.
So they get into a fight, and he's like, my grandpa's not crazy. I think everyone else in this town is. And she's like, your grandpa's kind of crazy. And he's like, your family has a lot of dead animals on the walls, and you like guns. Your family's crazy. And she gets mad and walks
Says
out.
they need to have a fight for some reason.
And then drops the line, get back to me when you are ready for an adult relationship. And that's where I went, they're in a relationship?
Yeah.
That's where her crazy shows. She declared them in a relationship, and he's sitting there like, what happened?
It's complicated on Facebook. Thank you. We just all got profiles. That was the first thing I put up.
I just wrote, at this point, I go, oh no.
You're not on my top 8 yet.
I just knew this was going to be a through line through the whole movie. It's like going to have to watch
it's 2005.
this relationship.
Facebook.
I know, and then I resorted back to MySpace.
Well, don't cross platforms.
I can cross-platform
You can't
because we
cross the
all did
streams.
in 2005. As soon as we got Facebook profiles, it was over. Sorry, Tom.
Well, I mean, now that's over too.
Yeah.
Buy information.
Yeah. Anyway.
What could have been a
I just
fun
got real
movie?
sad.
Yeah.
What could have been a fun movie with Sandberg going around and spearing people and murdering them is bogged down by this horrible relationship story.
Shit-ass relationship.
Oh my god!
You know what would have made this great is a third act
Shutting it
reveal
off?
that Santa was actually Emilie de Ravin.
Right.
And in her head,
Yeah.
Santa's doing this. Because if you think about it, the old lady calls her a whore, and in the next scene, Santa murders her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
she's,
actually
she's
would've
acting
been
a
really
little
well.
crazy
Yeah.
in this movie. It would have been great at the end if you reveal that, like, this is just, she thinks Santa's been doing all this.
Like,
But it
whatever
doesn't.
that movie was with the younger Olsen sister. Did anyone see that?
Avengers.
Yeah, thank you.
No, there's actually a really good movie.
Old Boy. I'm running out of Elizabeth Olsen. Oh, yeah, it's bad, that's uncomfortable. Have you seen Old Boy?
I know of
There's
it.
a,
Like, I know
Spike Lee
dramatically
one?
of
There's a
it.
twist in that
Iggy
movie.
Goes to Hollywood.
That if you know the twist ahead of time, you can watch the rest of the audience react to it when the twist is revealed.
So this one, it's like she's in a cabin with her dad or her uncle or something, and someone's trying to murder them. And there's a really good twist at the end.
Oh, okay.
So Evil Dead.
No, there's nothing
That movie
like...
where they're in a cabin and someone's murdering.
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
It's
Cabin in the
a good
Woods.
one. If you want like a very slow but like nice suspense.
No, it's the one that's like one whole continuous shot, right?
Maybe.
It's shot to look that way. I think I know which movie you're talking about, and I can't remember. It's something House, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's actually a very decent film.
That's what I hear. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Because she's very like, in that time she's like young, like 12 or 13. But it's like, once you like start putting the pieces together, you're like, fuck, if I watch it again, then I'll get everything. It's one of those movies.
Silent House.
Silent House. Yeah, that was a really good film. This is the podcast about watching movies, and we don't talk about the movie that we want to talk about.
Well,
we'll talk about everything
it's
else.
because the next scene is we introduce another guy who apparently needed to redo a room in his house.
Dave Thomas,
Jesus.
Yeah.
star of Grace Under Fire.
Yeah, Dave Thomas, everybody's favorite. When you can't get somebody else, Dave Thomas.
from Wendy's?
Not that Dave Thomas.
You know, I wish.
Though I think
I
equally
wish.
dead, right?
Yes.
Oh, they're both dead?
Is this Dave Thomas dead?
Man, that just was
I think he is.
came and went, huh? Like just everybody's like, "Oh, that guy that was in things sometimes died." Oh,
I think it was years ago, unless I'm getting him mixed up with
Really?
somebody else.
I'm sure he's still kicking around, Bobby. You'll see him in one movie one day and go, "Oh, that guy."
I apologize if you're listening to this, Dave Thomas.
Shut
probably
up,
is.
bitch! No,
Unfortunately-
Dave Thomas is not dead.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's going to pop up in something you're watching. The new Avengers
He's
or
gonna look
something.
right
He'll
into
just
the
be there.
lens and be like, "Fuck you, Bobby."
He's the guy when you can't get somebody else, you just call Dave Thomas. He's always got his phone on and ready to show up at a moment's
If you can't
notice.
get somebody else in Canada,
yeah,
you get Dave
yeah.
Thomas.
He's here, and he plays a priest.
He does an okay job with this.
That's his whole career, Bobby. He does an okay job.
Well, but this priest joke also
adequate.
The priest joke goes like too long throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Well,
To
that's
where it's
Dave
like,
Thomas.
so our first priest scene, he's at the church and he's like, "Oh, like I see too many coins in that giving pot. You better put bills in there because you know giving is the way into heaven, and those poor people need the money." But then, of course, he takes all the money and goes to a strip club.
That
Yeah.
old chestnut
And
in a
then-
Range Rover.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very stereotypical of like if we're going to do a comedy and there's a priest, of course the priest is going to be not how he seems to be,
Yeah.
right? So
Can you imagine a comedy where a priest is just like a generally good dude?
yeah.
He's like, "What am I even doing in this movie?" Right?
Oh,
Anyway, God
Otho
bless.
and Heather's.
Oh, I Oh, yeah.
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 I just forget that we always call him Otho and
That's
never
right.
his real name.
Nobody knows his real name. I'm not going to know his real name a week from now when we do Demolition
Well, it's weird because I watch
still won't know.
I have this bad habit, like I'll watch a movie randomly and then someone from the movie dies the next day, and it happened with Beetlejuice and Otho. And I was like, I killed Otho.
So maybe Dave Thomas will die.
Yeah, give it tomorrow. Merry Christmas.
Everyone's going to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Strange brew that was.
Perfectly adequate actor passes away. Dave Thomas.
That'll be the epilogue.
You've seen him, but you don't know his name.
Yeah.
Here's his
guy.
face.
This just in, IMDb's site hits. We have a record.
Dave Thomas has to be like the pinnacle of people go, you know, that guy. He's in things.
Like a circle face.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like an adult baby.
You know,
He's like, he says jokes, and like you don't laugh, but you go, oh, he's clever.
Oh, he's
you know
trying.
that guy,
Yeah.
right?
He's pretty good in everything. He just there's literally nothing about him to help me tell you who he is.
You know, he looks like a relative.
I think
of someone's.
He's named after somebody famous. Like he shares a name with a more famous person who's more charismatic.
Ronald McDonald.
Is that it? I think it might be.
It's totally Ron McDonald.
Ron McDon?
Ron McDon. As his friends used
Hey,
to call
Dave,
him.
can you get
As
Rick
Mayor
on the phone?
McCheese liked to call him.
Get Rick on the phone. Tell him to come back to acting. Thanks.
So Dave Thomas was like, well, I'll be the priest in your movie if I get to hang out with strippers, apparently.
Which,
maybe.
for
deal.
a stripper murder scene,
Decent.
I'm also like very let down by what could have happened.
Okay, I am fascinated by this strip club though, in that they have like a Circus Olay type swing
Right.
along the
Yeah.
top of the ceiling. I'm like, okay, we got something
Well,
going
because
on
the
here.
Klondikes are performing.
Oh, okay.
And
Also-
Tessa Tickler.
Yep.
This is the most
And,
well-lit,
Dixie
Tickler,
Wrecked.
yeah.
one of the most well-lit
Dixie
strip clubs I've seen in
And
existence.
Tickle.
Over in Canada.
Which can
These were all real names
I know
in the film.
Missouri law.
No.
Yeah. Missouri law, we can't we can't
Missouri
serve
law.
alcohol in strip joints. So is that a thing out here as well?
Out here, and I've only ever been to 2 strip clubs, but I have
Same,
that answer.
Same, but yes.
Which is amazing that I even know enough of this from my first ever trip
You
to
do
a strip
it.
club.
Yeah.
If it's all nude, you can't serve booze.
Okay,
Correct.
yes.
Topless, you could have booze.
Correct.
See, because in
'Cause
Missouri
I've
it
been
was
to
like
two
if
times in my entire
nipples
life
are
I've been to a
exposed,
You
strip
know
club.
that
I think.
rule.
I do?
Our very promiscuous employee. He, I don't go to the strip club because they don't show the vagine.
Oh god.
Which is funny because
That's exactly how he
far
talks.
from here,
Yeah,
there's
he
I
goes,
just had to go. Ugh, I wouldn't want to see it.
No,
And
I
was
don't.
like, well,
No,
duh.
no, I
it's a
don't go
very
to
weird
strip club.
experience, though. My first ever experience at a strip club was in a place here in Orange County that was a full nude place, and so I'm sitting there drinking a Diet Coke 6 inches
Sahara?
from exposed vagina, and I'm
How
like,
did
this
you-
is a weird. I
Health
don't want
hazard.
to be in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm kind of hyper right now, but also
But-
very sober.
If you go to Vegas, somehow that exact same experience seems clean.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only thing in Vegas that seems clean.
Yeah.
Hey, Vegas
but they have
listeners.
bigger stages, so they're not as close to you,
You know,
and
this
nothing's going to
movie
drop off.
would have been so good if it was set in Vegas, the city of sin.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
But also
Or
to be
anywhere,
fair,
really.
yeah.
And a place that never snows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
But-
did appreciate the all wood paneling inside this strip club.
Yeah,
it,
Canadian
like-
strip club.
it looked like the inside of a Hooters. Honestly.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Well, this
Maybe.
entire movie also, like, I feel like the exterior shots aren't actually the interior shots.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like,
at all.
they never, like, the exterior of the strip club and the exterior of the chapel are exactly the same, to where they just went to the other side of the building.
You know, maybe the
And that's
inside's
not a
the same,
lie.
too.
It was actually, like, white painted wood with, like, a trim that's green.
Yeah.
Was strip and hotel and church. To where I was like, no, they just went to the other side of the church to film this scene.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
With the old bouncer scene, Dave Thomas going in, and then Sandberg shows up, and
he murders
And he-
people.
yeah,
like,
he tries to walk in without cleared it with the bouncer, and he goes, "Where you going, fat boy?" And he turns and is like,
I'm like, he's
"Oh,
not
I
that
thought I
fat."
stuffed some stockings.
They keep
yeah,
doing-
it's Bill Goldberg.
Okay.
Hey, fat ass.
They keep doing that throughout the whole movie. They're like, yeah, he's such a fat ass. And you could definitely tell that Goldberg's like, nah, I ain't doing that, man.
Goldberg refused to put
Not
on
gonna
a
do
fat
that.
suit.
Absolutely. He was like, nope.
They should have got a fat actor to do this Killer Santa thing.
yeah.
It would have
know.
made more sense.
Just John Goodman murdering people.
Actually, that's believable.
Yes.
Or, you see John Goodman angry in anything, you're like, that's scarier than
It is
Goldberg
terrifying.
falling down my
Bobby,
chimney.
Actually,
You're going to pick a wrestler, Vader. Would have been
Darth?
fucking perfect choice.
That would have been not bad.
500-pound dude.
Yeah, he murders people in the strip club and then like throws a ball of coal and lights it on fire and everyone dies.
Okay, that's when we get in. He has magical powers where he can pull coal out of his pocket and light it.
Breathe on it.
Which he'll use it for one scene and never again.
And when he throws the coal, by the way, he goes, naughty! And I'm like, hey, dude, that's...
I know, I was like, different movie.
Punish.
Well, that was like 23 years later.
He might have
still.
said punish in this
Okay,
film.
what was the point of him coming in here and killing everybody?
He was trying to kill the pastor.
They wanted to get the body count up.
Why was he trying to kill the pastor?
Yes, thank you. Why?
I think he's got a... Because it does show him flying over the church and being like, naughty radar with his bison, I guess. Because I assumed the bison's red beam was a naughty radar.
That makes sense.
Can we...
But
why would he care about who's being naughty?
Wait, so then he's
not...
Because he kills a Jewish guy where it's like, hey, dude, out of your territory.
Okay, that's fucked up. But
stay in your
like,
lane.
I know. I was
if
like,
this was a
is
movie...
offensive.
Now, there's an interesting wrinkle.
Have we revealed his through line, his purpose, the bet,
Murder
everything?
No.
People?
No.
That's next.
Okay.
So
No,
right
but
now, he's just killing.
What I'm saying
we
is...
don't have a reason for it.
There's an interesting wrinkle is if Santa's just killing naughty people. And then they're like, wait, actually, he's kind of the good guy.
Yeah, he just kind of
Well,
becomes
then
a Charles
it is
Bronson.
just Silent Night Deadly.
But I don't think he's
Right.
even just killing naughty people.
No,
he's
he's
just
just
killing
killing.
anyone.
No, he's just killing anybody.
Oh wait,
I mean,
no.
everyone in this movie is an asshole. To a
Even
man.
Billy,
But
even Billy just kills randomly, like the people down the hill.
Yeah.
Never mind.
just people he deems naughty.
So he just doesn't like Dave Thomas.
Naughty,
That's,
you're
the
out
movie is
past
actually
9.
just him trying to kill Dave Thomas. He's like,
After
damn
Dave
it.
Thomas.
And he kind of offhandedly succeeds by the end.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
Dave
so he
Thomas
bursts
runs
in,
away.
and this is where we get the ho-ho-hos.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
And,
definitely was a mistake, and they're like, we'll keep it in, Bill.
Of course. He wraps a dude in Christmas lights and tosses them. He does a lot of cool stuff in here, including a weird Bugs Bunny moment where he goes up to a stripper pole, gives it a once-over with his eyes, and then sprays it down and wipes it.
He's like, I'm cleaning this. This is gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a full 409 or whatever that is in his pocket.
Yeah. And we got some guys who fight back against him, including a guest cameo by Vince Russo. Any wrestling fans out there?
Really?
Who was the booker for WCW.
Oh, wow.
And I
There's
love
a
it when
bearded
people
guy
do.
who gets killed with the who gets set on fire and electrocuted with the stripper pole.
And his eyes melt.
That's
I was
a-
like,
that's
that's a Fresnel. That's not going to happen.
I love it when people do more research than I do on my own show. I'm like, what is
You're
he
like,
talking about?
What was Russo?
What's a Vince? That was Vince Russo.
Wow.
Who was the guy kind of running WCW back when Goldberg was very popular. So somebody made a phone call to get one of those guys. I'm guessing he probably facilitated getting Goldberg in this movie.
Probably.
And so he's like, bro, can I be in it?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's like sitting down, and he's just like, I'm in this new movie. And he's like, well, me too. And he's like, what? Yeah, let's go.
And it's a weird
that's
turn
it.
because this character that Russo's playing is just a patron of this strip
Yes.
club. And if a dude ran into a strip club and started murdering people, I'm not grabbing an axe off the wall and trying to fight him.
No.
Oh, so he's one of he was the one that had the stripper on his lap?
He's one of the guys who's in the back drinking. He and another guy grab a pickaxe
And a
and,
shovel.
and a shovel off the wall and
Got
try
it.
to fight him.
Okay.
So the guy with the pickaxe is a bouncer, and he
Right.
ends up getting a pickaxe to the head.
Right.
The other guy was just a dude at the strip club.
Right.
Wearing a
I'm
plaid
leaving.
t-shirt.
And we should
Why
say
the hell am I going to try to fight this guy?
we should say Dave Thomas does do that. He just runs.
Smart
he just
guy.
leaves the
and he's
scene.
the one guy who gets out.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to figure out like why he even went in here.
Why Dave Thomas did?
No, Santa.
I think he's just...
Sandberg was, he's taking a break. Okay,
He's
it's
going
not
to
Christmas
the
yet.
hot sin spots.
Right. So yeah, he just winds up killing all the bouncers and
sets
then
fire to the place with that hot coal he pulled out of his own body.
Yeah.
And then he gets outside and realizes that the hell deer has eaten the valet parking guy outside.
Right. And I
That's
did not
terrible.
include this as a death because I did not see it. He could have literally been just eating a hat.
Oh, that's right. He was just eating a hat.
Jonathan.
What? It was implied only, and I don't do that.
Man, you were strict.
A stickler for it because I need to see it.
The only thing he's strict about.
That is pretty. Yep, I'll be late all day long, but
Seeing as you were the last guy to show up today.
That's right. Welcome to my show.
Yeah.
Entertain yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be there
I
later.
guess we'll take off without the pilot. If he's running late, he's running late. We got to get to Cleveland.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're at cruising altitude, and I'll be there in 5 minutes.
So then the
James Bond jetpack in the distance.
We get our animated sequence.
Yeah, you do get the animated sequence.
This is pretty dope.
By the way, I was trying to find out who did this. It says nowhere in the credits what studio produced
I'm sure
this.
they just got Rankin Bass to come back in and do it, because this looks just like the old Rudolph. Stop motion.
It looks like the dollar store.
Right.
My wife,
everything else here.
Yeah.
My wife works in stop motion, and so there's very few studios that do this. So we're very interested if anything's ever done to find out who did it. No, I sent her the clip though, and she couldn't figure it out. And I would look through the credits multiple times, cannot find out what studio did it.
Oh, it's how the Kubo guys got their start.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
We don't want to talk about it.
I think this may have been made in Santa's workshop.
Yeah.
I was like, they didn't do it themselves, though. There's no way.
Yeah,
the
Brett
amount of
Ratner
work
got in there.
Right. So basically, in this origin story, it turns out that the son of the devil is challenged by just a random angel.
An angel took the form of an old man to go to Earth. He wanted to live life as a human being.
Why that form, though?
Why an old man?
Yeah.
And I have problems with that.
Yeah.
As the movie progresses, we'll talk about those problems with the fact that the angel came to Earth as an old man.
And so basically challenges him to
a rudimentary curling match.
A game of curling in which if the angel wins, then Santa has to basically do Santa stuff.
He has to turn his birthday, the day of slayings, into a day of good cheer. And do, the Santa shit.
The day of yayings.
And then I don't remember...
As it is traditionally called.
I don't remember what was if Santa won. And it doesn't matter.
It was basically...
Oh, no, Santa
he would
lost.
banish that angel to hell for eternity.
Oh, that
so
was
like
it.
their contest, there's like a whole, because he was ice fishing with evil elves, which why bring evil elves into stop motion if they don't exist in this movie? Because now I just want to know where the evil elves are.
Were you waiting around for them to show up at the end?
Yeah.
He's got like a squad?
Well, there's also a picture in the book where Santa's laughing, and there's a green Santa and a blue Santa, and he's like, ha,
what's up with his
which I was
multicolored Power Ranger Santa
I was
friend?
like,
it's like Electric Superman.
Where are
he
those?
splits into multiple Santas.
Which,
I read that
don't know,
whole
maybe a
series there.
sequel someday. So yeah, the contest is there's a hole in the lake, and whoever gets their curling block, I don't remember.
This is when it became,
called.
by the way, incredibly apparent that this is a Canadian movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because they put curling in it.
Yeah.
Like, everybody already knows the rules curling. Because they're like, you all know curling,
But they never say it's curling, right? And literally...
They just say it's a contest. You get your block closest to the hole, you win.
And what's
It's the
funny
precursor
is...
for curling.
Well, yeah, because they use the term, they're like The Rock, which is the curling thing, yeah.
And I
No, that's
wrote...
Bill Goldberg. It's not The Rock.
Before they actually... Because they didn't show The Rock until it was actually sliding across the ice. And I had already written, so curling, right? And then the shape of the rock was with the handle and everything. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think the rules of this is you have to get closest to the hole without going in.
Yeah, closest to the hell hole without going in.
Which, you know.
Many a night for you, huh? Come on. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mike, I think we should go.
My ex called it my hell hole.
There it is. Thank you.
It was Chipotle. It was one time. That's terrible. That's gross. That never happened. Don't worry. Yeah. Well, I had something back there. But like, it's also like it's a super cheap like thing because he has Satan's child go first, and then he just slides and knocks Satan's in or Santa's in, and
cheating ass angel.
And he wins because of that, where it's like, whoa, 2 out of 3 are like, you got to go first, and he's going to pull that shit on you.
I think they just fast forwarded through the rest of that story. There was probably
well, that's kind of
look. It's stop motion. It takes
at.
a long time, so they're like, we had this whole thing planned out, but let's just do one.
This was the last round. It was the best of 7. They were tied.
Do I have to animate every round?
So that's the story of Santa. That's why he's here.
But now the 1,000 years is up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently on this day.
Yeah. Only
forget all
1,000?
this shit that happened
Only
at the
1,000
beginning.
years?
Just like tonight.
Yeah.
They didn't expect the world to go on for
only
1,000 more years.
So like he's been going like since 1,000 after Christ.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, all right, I'm here and I've been hanging out.
Well, this was only in 1005.
Right.
And they say in the Santa-nomicon that these things were happening concurrently. People were paying off Christ for protection, like a mafia coup.
Yeah.
To make sure that this is because they're all working together, man.
Yeah. So that's the origin of Santa. Then we have a small scene in which the pastor is crying and is doing a sermon for all the whores from the night before. And then Santa goes to the delicatessen? Is that where we are?
Not quite yet.
Oh,
he busts through the manger.
Maybe the best.
We're skipping over some kills. We're skipping over a couple things.
Yeah, where Santa beheads a.
I think you may have dozed off watching this.
No, I just kind of wrote
it's all over
the next
place
thing that
at
I
this
guess
point.
seemed interesting to me, and that's kind of how it works.
So
well,
from
Santa
here,
beheads a wise man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
That's right.
plows
He goes
through a
through the
nativity
manger.
scene. Yeah,
It's like John Cleese riding by in the Holy Grail, where he just goes, ha-ha! Like,
well, and those kids opening presents, that was my favorite
we
scene.
get the
of whole
foul-mouthed
movie.
kids.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck is in this box, Mom?
Can we open our goddamn presents?
That was another Thanksgiving vibe for me.
I believe they even said, "Can we open our motherfucking presents?"
Yeah.
And then
Right?
when they open their presents explode in their faces, taking their heads clean off their shoulders.
And
Like
Grandma
child.
says something like, "Oh fuck."
So, is Santa still doing his job through all this, too?
He's a busy dude. Time doesn't work the same for Santa.
I mean, yeah, but, like, that's what I mean, though. Is like,
Well,
his
no,
1,000
he's-
years are up, but he's still delivering presents? And does that mean that,
It's like he's only focusing on this one town, but we do know why he's only focusing on this one town and abandoning the rest of the world, because he knows he's supposed to go to this town
Right,
to find
but-
this angel.
But is he still delivering presents? Like,
No.
he delivered them
No.
that morning,
He just
No,
and they're
exploding
all
real quick.
explosive?
That'd be
And-
great. The whole town explodes.
Yeah.
So during this, also, our main character looks up the Santa tracker on Hooyah.
Oh my god!
Which
And it
is,
goes, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Nice little Yahoo joke.
Oh my god!
And he looks up the Global Operations Network for aerospace defense.
Which,
love
what,
this.
was Yahoo still a thing even then?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yahoo's
mean, but
still a
like
thing now.
important?
Oh yeah. What was it? They even have a joke in Bruce Almighty, which I think was like 03, something like that,
Yeah.
where he looks up Yahweh, and it does a Yahweh.
God damn
Ha!
it.
But anyway, yeah. So he looks on Gonad, and he's trying to figure out where Santa is, and he asks through they have a little pop-up help box. He's like, "Is the Santa tracker real?" And they respond with, "How old are you?" And he goes, 16. They go, "No, and neither is Santa."
Yeah.
But also, what are you doing later?
Shopping cart. Yeah, ASL,
Yeah. Ooh.
ESL.
Yes. Yeah.
But they do have that part. Santa shows up in the deli, right?
Mhm.
And he wants a pastrami Reuben or something. I don't know, right? But they're closed.
Bill Goldberg got hungry.
Yeah. But they're closed, and he still breaks in.
Yeah.
Okay,
and this
so-
is where we get him using one of his signature moves.
Yeah, spear.
This also doesn't make any sense, though. I'm like, why? Like, I feel like I'm gonna jump ahead here just to prove a point. But like, he has the letter that says where he needs to go,
yeah."
and yet he goes everywhere but all through
He
this
hasn't
movie.
been able to murder for 1,000 years, and he's like super jonesing to get murdered off.
Exactly.
Sure,
Yeah.
but where he's going, like, seems to be leading him towards the boy.
Well, bear in
Well,
mind,
he's got to have his kills in the shape
Yeah.
of a Christmas tree.
right? That is true. We've
God damn
we've
it.
set that up. And also, I mean, that was the idea of the Day of Slaying. So he just goes around randomly killing people.
Right, but
he's
these
getting
don't
back in the
seem
game.
random to me.
Well, yeah, it seems like the strip club. Like, look, Santa was horny.
Right.
No, he's going to the strip
Strip club,
I'll
yes.
give him that. I'll give him that one.
It is
Right.
a small town as well, to where it's like he's probably killed half of them just because that's all there is.
And look, it's like 11 a.m. and Santa hasn't eaten. Okay, he needs a sandwich.
Yeah, needs a little energy.
He's got to get some salami stuck to his shoulder that he doesn't realize is stuck there.
And then he does.
Who among us?
And he does realize, well, this man's Jewish. He's not a true believer in me, Santa Claus, and so he spears
Oh, this is
him.
like a Candyman thing.
Yeah.
Like, you doubted me.
Okay, but not before he uses not before the delicatessen owner uses his Star of
I
David
love
like
that.
like a cross. Like,
He holds
for
it up like a
vampire.
vampire crucifix.
Yeah. Right?
I thought he was just trying to like blind him with the light, wrapped up like a deuce in the runner in the night.
Uh-huh.
Sorry,
But also at the
I
same
had to.
Just me? All right, fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Because he does blind him, but then later, like, there is another blinding scene with the flashlight.
He's very light sensitive.
No, that whole shit when he tries to
Like a
shine a
gremlin.
light in his face. Yeah.
But what doesn't make sense to me is that it almost seems like we're going to give him a weakness. It almost seems like, and that would have been a decent joke, is like,
Just cast these
Judaism
in the
versus
audience.
Christianity, right? And it's like, holy shit, like, they are the yin and yang of each other in this thing, you know? Like,
Batman
go
and
for
Superman.
it. Because immediately after he leaves and kills him, he runs into a bunch of Hasidic Jews, and he's
And he
like,
growls at them.
yeah, right? And you're like, well, wait, there's something there, and you guys didn't go for it.
See, I think it was just a very, like, tongue-in-cheek because of how much of the cast was Jewish.
Yeah.
The majority of this film is just, that's the joke.
But I think the better joke here would be to tie them together. To be
he's
like
a vampire.
Yeah, literally just hold up a goddamn menorah. You know, and like it's a cross, and he's like, you know, like go for it. Why not? At this point, we've already jumped a shark.
Yeah, this needed like Rabbi Peter Cushing.
Literally
to come stake him.
Yeah, like Peter Vincent, but a rabbi, right? And that would have been great.
And the point that ends up being this scene is that after he impales the delicatessen owner with a menorah, he spots that picture on the wall of our main character and his grandfather.
Sandwich Boy, yeah.
Not our main character, but we see the grandfather on the old curling team, and he starts to piece it together, as do we.
But he doesn't need to.
Right. Yeah. It's for us, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a happy circumstance. Like, he just shows up and he's like, oh, yeah, I guess this is where I'm going next.
Well, it does seem like this is all going to be a setup, because then we get a scene where Sandwich Boy goes to buy gum from a gas station and Tiny Lester's working there.
Okay, so they clearly just got him for the day.
Yeah.
And decided, we got to film a scene real quick because Tommy's in town.
Yeah.
And that was it, because
none
of this shit.
Is it just me, or did Tommy's eye get better in this movie?
It didn't look as bad.
Yeah, it did not look as lazy.
Doing all right.
Yeah.
His eye was
had
less
some
lazy
work.
than everybody else in
He's
this movie.
clean. He's not drinking. He's eating healthy.
You know, this scene
going to church.
Yeah.
This scene doesn't make any sense. He just walks
It's
into
pointless.
Sandwich Boy walks into a gas station. He goes, "Oh, hi. Can I get some gum?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got a shitload of gum." We're all
he says
out.
we're all out because the driver died in that strip club fire.
Okay, and he goes, "Oh, what's this brand of gum? Never heard of
Smoker's
that."
gum. Cool.
Yeah.
Seems neat. And it's like,
Okay.
what? Oh, don't
And he
you
goes, "Yeah, I've never seen you here before."
Where are these people that they've never
There are
heard of
black people in
Sony
Canada?
Walkmans? They've never heard of like smoking, quit smoking
Nicorette gum or
yeah,
whatever.
like
we
what?
already established this kid's an idiot.
Yeah.
Fucking Canada.
Oh yeah, Sandwich Boy's a fucking moron. Why is he even in a gas station? He doesn't have a car.
And
Got
so
a scooter.
It doesn't make any sense.
And so the end of our cameo,
Yeah, he's
for
on a
no damn
BMX.
reason, was just him saying that he moved here a couple months ago because there's too much violence in the hood.
But
Yeah.
then he heard about a murder at a deli on the police tracker. And he's like, I got to get to the deli.
I thought that was a reference to Friday when he said I moved here because there's too much violence in the hood.
It could be.
Because he's a recurring character in the Friday.
No, I know,
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
If you want it to be, you got it.
But this
It's a
being
Christmas
produced by
present
Brett
for
whatever
you.
you
Ratner,
want.
I think
Whatever
it was
you
just
want.
a joke about a black guy being in this place.
Yeah, because he also goes, man, I've never seen anybody like you around here.
If you know
And it
what
got
I
very
mean.
uncomfortable.
This movie's just
Yeah.
make
Hey,
your own
say, do you have
7
a
degrees
phone?
of Kevin Bacon. Or 6 degrees.
This movie is like towing the line, but also like directly going over it and then coming back to the other side saying they didn't go over there.
So you think that
Yeah.
they cut out that part when he gave him the gun transformer? It was like,
So we do go to the delicatessen.
And this
Yes.
is when I thought it was going to turn out that like there was some sort of like Jewish connection, something, because
This
he
movie
like
should have been called The Jewish Connection.
I'm sure Ratner thought there was. You know?
but he goes,
Santa's list.
he's like trying to pull the menorah out of his boss's throat, and the boss wakes up and says something, but I couldn't understand.
He
I'm
goes,
just like,
there is a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
does.
I thought it was going to
Believe
be
her
like
out of him.
Right?
I
And
thought
then
it
he
was gonna be
fades
like,
away.
Yeah.
There
Take
is
the star of
another Skywalker.
like
Another Claus.
give him a tip, like go to your grandpa, he knows what to do. But then like that doesn't happen.
No.
No, just Santa.
Yeah.
Police show up and arrest
Okay.
him.
these
Yeah,
racist
Canadian
ass police
PD.
officers.
Right,
Yeah.
because
these Mounties
your last
show
words
up.
are Santa is real. I'd be like, all right, well, that was a
Santa's from
ramblings of a
Israel?
dead man. It's just
What about Israel?
Yeah.
I was wrong.
No, the Santa tracker said Santa already went to Israel.
I checked on GoDad.
Yeah.
Kid, I don't have time. But, yeah, and the first thing the cop says, it looks like someone punched out Mr. Green's Festival of Lights. Wonderful.
Something isn't kosher
And he-
here.
and
Go
he-
ahead and grab
and
that
the- and
Amish
the,
group.
Yeah. Yeah, we have something isn't kosher here. He says, Shlomo outside says he saw someone in a Santa suit. Like, this is not, none of this is hitting, man.
Did anybody check that gas station?
yeah.
Has anybody been over there?
We're
Good
doing-
old knockoff Rob Riggle.
We got a great tight 5 on the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes to the police station, essentially.
And we have
Cock and Bush.
By the way,
Captain Cock.
Okay, hold on. So they said they're going to arrest him, the sandwich boy, because they're like,
Well, they're bringing
maybe.
him for questioning.
They said we're going to take you down to the station.
Though, to
But
be
then when he
fair,
gets in the
fingerprints
car,
are all over the goddamn manure.
You come to a murder site with his fingerprints on it, and he's
yeah.
hovering over the body. You
absolutely.
are taking
and
him.
his IQ level, But again, there's one of the Jewish guys in the police car.
There's two.
Yeah,
they
he's sandwiched between them.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
grab
what the
that Amish group too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is weird too
Looked like a
because
self-hate crime.
basically what happens here is they question Sandwich Boy about the murders.
They
and
really don't, though.
Not really, right? Because he goes in and this guy's also dressed as a Santa for
Captain
no
Cock.
reason.
Is this guy
He's the
like
captain
some
of the
sort
police
of?
station.
Is this like a Canadian star or something? Because they played it off like, look, he's in the movie, and everybody's like, who?
I have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah,
the fuck
that's
is
I
this?
felt
he
that
does get
vibe
featured,
too.
Like
right?
we're supposed to be like, ha! I can't believe
It does
because
he's got the
Yeah.
beard on, everything. And he goes, oh.
Yeah.
And then there's just no reveal. At
And
least for me, I'm
we
like,
have a reference to his.
It's like
Santa
those
Claus.
end credit clips.
Yeah.
It's just like what is going on?
And when he sees the Santa suit, he goes, "Don, they now are gay apparel."
Yeah.
Yeah, so like and that's where I felt like there was
Ratner
another
note.
Gay icon Santa Claus.
That's what I
Ratner
thought.
note, man.
That's what I thought.
It's so good.
I was like,
now our gay apparel.
most beloved leather daddy in history.
right? And I was like, is he a character
Santa's
on a
got his
show?
harness on.
Is he reprising
Under
a
the
role
coat.
from
Yeah,
another
boots and the belt.
movie? I did not know.
We're not Canadian, but it would make so much sense if we do.
Yeah.
So he goes into this crackpot theory about how like we have till 7 to stop Santa because time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And the cops, of course, were like, "You've been talking to your grandpa again? Get out!"
Yeah. As we're going out, like, two cops are, like, looking at the murder map. And they're like, see, it's all in the shape of a Christmas tree. And he's like, no, I think it's
the
in
Christmas tree killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, good work, Lou.
Like, fantastic. Because I, as a killer, want to sit there and plot my kills on a map to make shapes.
Have you seen The January Man? That movie's phenomenal.
All right.
Kevin
It's
Kline.
kind of a lame title, but sure.
No, it's
Does he spell out January on a map?
January, man.
My
No.
kills spell out January in
no.
cursive.
He kills.
Connect the dots.
He kills once a month.
Are you thinking of the Bye Bye Man?
No, I'm thinking of the
Are you thinking
January
of Cinderella Man?
Nope.
Are you thinking of Encino Man?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You're just thinking of Spider-Man.
That's got it.
No, it's called The January Man. It's Kevin Kline. He's a detective, and it's also Alan Rickman as his like partner.
Huh.
And they're trying to like find a killer who literally kills once a month on a specific date, and it all like that would
If he
spoil
kills
it
once a month, why is he the January Man?
because January. It's there. Literally, that's the next time he's going to do it. Is
Okay.
January. So they're just
What if he picked, like, the 31st and he's like, fuck,
yeah.
February.
So it's actually kind of a Christmas
Gets to plan
movie.
his vacations.
Yeah.
It's because the last kill like that kicks off the movie happens on Christmas, and so it's kind of a Christmas movie too.
We could argue
So-
about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's another Alan Rickman kind of Christmas, kind of not special.
Any movie with Alan Rickman's a Christmas movie. That's just how it works, right?
Ooh, I mean, every Harry Potter has
He's the spirit of
Christmas.
Christmas. I thought Harry Potter was against Christ. I have a little booklet some lady gave me when I was walking to the grocery store.
That was the old lady that was trying to get her sandwich, right?
I knew it. Yeah, then she called me a whore.
Was she wrong?
No.
Yeah.
So,
We are 2 hours
So
in. Here we go.
speaking of Candyman, Santa appears in the police station, and he stuns Captain Cock's nuts.
yep, with a stun gun or a taser.
And we pan back and reveal as Santa's leaving that he's already wiped out the
And I counted
the
these
boys
kills.
in the hallway. He's
I
killed
counted
everyone in
them.
the police station.
But the
I
one
counted
in the
them.
hallway that was at the front desk that was getting the cock and bush joke, it
Yeah.
looked like he was just like looking at a phone and didn't realize everyone else was dead.
he
Because he's
did.
sitting
he
in a
did,
chair
he
like,
yeah, it's a weird pose.
And
Like he's
some-
gonna look up at his second out and go,
like
Jesus.
what's happening around here?
and
Because
there's-
he was very, God, who's the guy that's on Conan?
Oh, Andy Richter.
Andy Richter. I was like, oh, not Andy Richter.
Yeah.
Because he had that same kind of like,
So there's three people in this
Speech.
lobby. There's one guy that's like on a pew in the far left, and he's just burnt to a crisp somehow.
Yeah.
Right. There's the guy looking
Probably
down
one
at
of
his
those
phone.
coals that Santa
right?
pulled out of his ass.
Yeah,
earlier.
maybe. And then there's a guy with something white stuffed in his mouth. I don't know. It was like a can.
Who among us?
Or a-
oh.
yeah. And then the last guy that was like, oh, it's a Christmas tree murders, is impaled to the wall via the push pins?
Which suddenly got way longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, way longer and way stronger.
That's more Bugs Bunny shit. Like, he grabbed a push pin and stretched it so it was much longer.
Yeah.
And then acupunctured him into the wall.
That was
We're like knitting needles now.
It's a weird reveal and something where you kind of wanted to see how that played out.
Yeah.
Would have liked to have watched that massacre.
Yep. And the movie just keeps going.
They don't have the budget for that.
Of course.
Yep.
Nope.
And then our main character, what's his name again?
Sandwich Boy.
Sandwich Boy and Sandwich Girl are
They go to
driving in his
Grandpa's.
pickup truck to get to Granddad's, and in the background, a police car lights up, and they think it's Captain Caulk again.
Like,
And we have a great little exchange where he goes, "Oh, it's this guy. Ah, he sucks." And she goes, "Caulk?"
Mhm.
And everyone waits so we can stop laughing.
God, I always want cock. Like, the number
Just
of
like
jokes that
this
they make
show.
with cock is like, all right, we get it.
Yeah, can you relax, kid?
Just
I feel like this was written by a 16-year-old.
Also, why Caulk? Like, we know how to say that. Why wasn't it just like C-A-C-K?
Yeah, if the joke
Like
is dependent on everybody mispronouncing the word caulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know anybody who really does. I don't feel like anybody's like, why are you saying it that way? Why are you saying cock? You know? No.
Do you know anybody who doesn't know how an L works?
No. No.
There are no silent L's.
No.
Sorry, any Hispanic listeners.
But yeah, it's not the captain, whatever you want to call it. It's actually Santaberg.
Yeah, it is. And they decided, how are we going to get away from this guy? And he tells her to do the move from Top Gun. Where he says, Top Gun, you slam the brakes, you let him fly by. Only this doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
That's what you do in an airplane? Just slam the brakes, let them fly by.
You know, you just slam the brakes on an airplane.
Yeah.
Because I was inverted. Yeah, and then she slams the brakes and then speeds up, and he falls into the back of the pickup truck. He expected him to, I guess, topple over and fall out, and he does not.
But he didn't, and so they grab her dad's gun out of the pickup
And
truck.
shoots through the back glass, but no breakage of the back
I think
glass?
the back was open. I think the little window was open, and they shot
No,
through
when
that.
he shot it, made a glass shattering sound.
I didn't see any glass.
It's Canadian.
I heard it because I was like, "They're just gonna shoot through a window," but I think I looked at my phone because I remember hearing glass break, and I was like, "I guess they are."
That's because Steve Austin showed up.
Yeah.
And he shoots him off the truck, and then the movie continues.
Yeah, nothing. It's just like, we need a way to get out of this scene.
We're doing a T-1000.
Yeah, but also, why did we have that scene then?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because we haven't, by the way, we have not established if you're immortal, like Santa's supposed to be.
Right.
Can he get killed by conventional means, or does he just live forever?
Can you imagine?
Also, why is
you
his
just shoot
outfit
Santa?
not shot?
There hasn't been a scene in which somebody unloaded on Santa
Yeah.
prior to this.
It's never
Oh,
established.
there was, but that's a different film.
It's never established that he's bulletproof. Not in one point in the movie. They're just like, nobody will
Santa
care.
spray.
Oh.
Never established the rules of Santa or anything, really. It's just, he's immortal, but maybe he can get hurt by a gun or maybe not. Who cares? Next scene.
Like, every explanation is basically, look, kid, shut up.
Yeah.
Well, because
Watch your damn movie.
Because every single you could take all the things that kids have always had questions about, right? And get your own explanation and turn it a little bit evil and things like that, and be like, just how has Santa been alive for so long? Well, because he can't die, and we're going to show that.
Because he's the Antichrist.
How is he able to be on one end of the hallway and then the other in the high school later? Because he's a time traveler and or portal jumper. You know, do things like that.
Bobby's right. Is when you're saying this stuff, there's just a guy, Brett Ratner, going, "Shut up, shut up, nobody cares." What if you shoot Santa with a gun? Can he die? Nobody cares.
Shut the fuck up.
Get another gay joke in it, right? You shoot him with a gun, call him the F word.
Why does he do this? Because you're gay. That's why he does this. All right?
Every time you make a comment, I'm putting another gay joke in the script. Every time.
That's how this all happened. James Caan had a question about his character's motivation, and
All
that's
right.
what happened.
Put
Now
the
you
leg.
have to say this.
Yeah, put the leg in his mouth now.
Shut up.
So, Sandwich Boy, Sandwich Girl make it to Grandpa's house, and they go into the emergency bunker.
God, this is where
But
this
then
movie...
they're like, oh my God, carolers! And Sandwich Girl has to warn them to tell them to leave.
Yeah, she shouts, "Go away, Santa's on the loose!"
Also, don't warn them. Who gives a shit?
Just stay in your hut.
They're dressed like fucking Charles Dickens characters, too. It's like, they deserve
that
it.
tends to be what carolers do.
We had carolers come to our house last week, and we didn't know what to do.
Did you gorilla press one into a railing?
Well, it's weird because it's like, we have one of, like, me and my roommates, we're in a house where it's like, you go up to the front, and there's like, the door is kind of inset, and there's just a little, like, I guess, alcove to the front door. So it's like, what are you going to do? Like, all wedge right there and be like, okay. So we're just like, sorry, we don't want it.
Yeah, you do the Halloween thing.
I don't have any figgy pudding.
Just turn off your lights.
But like, we didn't hear them. We didn't know they were coming.
They're
it was just
shitty
like knock on the
then.
doors, and we were like, what? And they were like, hey, we're here caroling. And we were like,
you guys can get
a
real hobby, you know.
Yeah.
You went to the front door, they go, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
Pay us.
And we were
to
like,
your house.
Yeah.
You say, no, thank you.
On your front lawn.
Yeah. And they were like, hey, like, we're here caroling. Like, do you want to, like, it's like, I don't know, $5 a song or 10 for free.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Hold up. They charge?
You got buskers?
That's why you carol.
Wait, no.
You give carolers money.
For tips?
Hold on. They said it's $5 for a song?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
fuck
like,
that.
not $5, like a certain monetary amount.
No,
I don't know
I don't
what.
think it's
but,
outrageous how much they were charging. It's that they were charging.
Yeah.
that's you're supposed to give carolers money.
Wait, no,
That
I've
is
never
a-
heard
no.
that.
To
go
in my
away?
life.
I thought you caroled for like donations.
What?
Yeah, like church groups. We
think
would
it's
go out and
just-
carol and
This
we'd
is
be like,
news to me.
hi, we're this
just
church. We're
do
raising
it
money
if you're
for
gonna
this.
do it.
Like, I know my wife was a professional caroler for a time.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
Are you being facetious? No. Okay.
And but
Go on.
the thing is, they weren't demanding money from the people they sang for. Like they received a payment to arrive at, say, like an old folks home.
So they're like
and carol
carolers for
them.
hire.
Carolgrams?
Yeah, basically.
They
It's
don't
like-
go out
but
and
you can-
panhandle.
But they're not just going door to door with like a bucket.
Yeah, no thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And
is
little
like Hollywood
Bobby here is
Boulevard.
going to shovel your walk when
Look,
we're done.
It's like I said, turn off your lights.
Yeah.
Just-
But, okay.
And also, would you like to take a picture with Spider-Man?
Can I-
Guy in sneakers.
Just an
Like,
Elmo.
hey. Yeah, with an elbow who's half hanging out of it.
But also, in this scenario, in your very specific scenario, how sad is it that these carolers are going around in like 70-degree LA weather that's like it's just a regular just ground, no snow. They just look so sad.
Our dead ass front lawn too. Like,
do they have a little Tiny Tim too? You know,
I don't, because anytime someone knocks or
crutches.
Yeah,
or,
they're like,
rings the
"Can you
doorbell, I hide. I'm like, where are their sight lines? I like duck to the ground. I'm like, okay, from
Did
behind
you
the
think
couch
you were
they
being
can't.
visited by ghosts?
You know, because we already started half a song, so you know that's gonna be $5. Also, he's on crutches. Do you not have a heart?
Jared, like, out
It's
the
like
window
when they put
upstairs
it,
going,
like,
you boy, what day is it?
Then it's like when they hand you a book and you hold it. Yeah.
A goose for all.
Go buy a goose.
Like,
Throws a bag of change at this kid.
like, here's a book. Do you like it? Like that whole tactic, and then they're like, so the book's $20.
Oh God.
You're like,
Oh God, that's like walking through a comic convention.
No, that's like walking on Hollywood Boulevard and like they're
The
like
CDs?
passing out your
Yeah,
CDs.
don't
Here's
hold
my
the
new rap
CDs.
album.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Every
not.
single
Hate
time I
it.
have friends
Dude,
that
I
are in
bought one of
town,
those
I'm like,
once.
don't touch them, don't touch them.
I did buy one once, and the song I found
was it DJ
fucking
Salty
amazing.
Salt?
Did you?
No,
did you
my
then?
family
did
bought
you
one
then
from
sign
DJ
him?
Salty.
It was a
Salt.
guy. It was a guy named Smooth J.
Wow.
Did you sign him?
Original.
I did. Yeah, he's on my label. But it's awful, that song. But like he'll like
Oh,
fuck
so
up
it
a
wasn't
line
good.
but left it in. You know, like where he starts over and like comes in off key and off time.
Man, that's
and then
real.
shouts his own name anyway, because that's
send
how you gotta do
this?
it.
Well, see, that's what.
So hold on, I'm sorry.
I don't know if I still
So
have
he's sitting there. He's like, so I went down to
Wait,
Smooth J. Like just
Yeah.
gets out of it that
Oh
way.
yeah, there's a part where like he thought the chorus was gonna come in again, but it wasn't that part because the music dipped, and so he's just like, "Girl, yeah, Smooth J." It's like this is the
He's
best.
just there in the background. He's like, fuck.
God, I wish I could track it down.
We so when we were out here, it was like when I was in middle school, before like my entire family moved out here. But we ran into one guy, and his name was DJ Salty Salt.
It's great.
And the first song, like it came up, and it was like sirens, and it was like, boop, and it was like, warning, warning, you are about to be assaulted.
Yes!
And then it was like,
Wow.
assault, assault,
and pepper.
I'm just picturing like a cartoon pretzel.
That
Like
would have
in the
been
booth.
so much better.
Kind of interesting as they, he plays that for a record exec. They're like, it's great and all, but this idea of starting your song with "You're going to be assaulted."
Yeah.
No.
Like, we got enough of those guys. Let's not.
We've been there.
What else you got, kid?
So, right, what part of the movie are we at?
Well,
'Cause
Goldberg,
this is officially our longest
They're in the
episode.
bunker.
Carolers have shown up.
Goldberg
shows up and murders them.
Yeah, he does everybody a favor and murders those panhandling carolers.
This is why I think my death counts off, because I did not consider any of these people murdered.
They
I
were
considered them just knocked
murdered.
out.
He broke a back against a railing.
I thought it didn't.
It's
seem,
a work,
it
man.
didn't seem like break.
If you count Rebecca Gayheart getting her head hit by a leg and murdered, then the caroler that he slammed into the handrail
that's
murdered,
the only
a
one
murder.
I did
Yeah.
out of all like 5 of them.
It's just like a
He
ladder
killed
match.
all of them.
I don't know. It seemed I was like, it just seemed like he was just throwing them around the room.
Whatever,
like a
they're
wrestling
just
ring.
carolers caroling for not money.
But then we have like a good 5-minute scene of them being like, "Oh, he can't get in the bunker. Oh, he can. Let's go through the secret passage to the garage."
What's the point of building a bunker if it's not?
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
it's meant for something, not intrusion or something, like seclusion, not intrusion or something.
Yeah.
He made it
and I was
only
like,
for himself.
Yeah, I was like, then
was
what's
his
the
jerk-off
point?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it's
basically,
made
yeah.
for seclusion, not intrusion.
Yeah, but that wasn't the. I'm rhyming
Oh,
something
okay.
that
I was
isn't
like, I
really.
swear to God, if that was a line
But
of this
basically, he was like something about it, like not being fortified for an intrusion or
Well,
something.
yeah, because he
It's
just
not, yeah.
knocks on that door and the cardboard broke down. That was a spray-painted cardboard door.
But
It
it was
wasn't
just
actual
weird because
steel.
he built it for this purpose.
Yeah.
And then is like, it's not going to hold up.
Yeah.
to just go to another part of the house.
Yeah.
Like he
Terrorvision
walks
had a better
to.
bunker.
Yeah, I mean he
Yes.
walks to the garage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then there's Sandberg just comes outside and goes, "Oh, you're at the garage."
But Grandpa bravely puts on his curling hat because shit's on.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, this is when the whole movie gets stopped for no reason. In the middle of a chase is when Sandwich Girl just turns to Sandwich Boy. She goes, "I'm scared," and I just stopped
And he goes-
myself. I'm like, "Okay, that's
He goes,
great."
"We'll keep on hiding it. You're really good at it."
Yeah, it's like just stop the whole movie. You're like, "Okay, that's great." Yeah,
They
All
get
right.
on snowmobiles.
We have emotions.
They get on 2 different
Yeah.
snowmobiles and one doesn't start, so she hops on the back of the other one
Oh,
and
I
they go.
I thought it was just implied that she was dumb.
Oh, Grandpa died.
Because they were like,
Grandpa
"No,
buys
you
them
got to
some
do
time."
the thing," and she's like, "I don't know." And then
Grandpa buys
yeah.
them bison time. Well, Grandpa bites it with bison to buys them time.
By the way,
They filmed this in bison time.
Well,
like
that's
the
when
Matrix.
it's that's when it's revealed that like basically Grandpa
know each other.
and Santa know each other.
Because
Kind
he
of.
sees Santa and goes,
Kind
"Yeah,
of.
you've put on weight," which no, he hasn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, Mrs. Claus is a hell of a cook."
And he's like, "Well, she's a shit ass hairdresser."
I'm like, all right,
Like-
so somebody needs to establish who Mrs. Claus is
Yeah.
now because I need to know that story.
Is she
You gotta wait for the
murderous
sequel,
too?
man. But then the
Santa's
bison,
lay.
the bison comes running through and just wipes out Grandpa.
And Grandpa has to say bye, son.
yeah.
Bye, grandson. Sorry.
Oh, it was a good joke too. But then we got
Don't apologize for your comedy.
Sandberg goes, "Oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer."
Yeah. You heard it.
yeah,
in the
again,
intro.
there's really no pun or anything. It's just we're
No,
gonna
it's
say that line, but instead of grandma,
No,
it's grandpa.
Yeah, that's the word play. That's the
Yeah.
clever that's happening here.
Is it?
Yeah. Look, shut up, kid.
So then they go on a nice 15-minute snowmobile chase that really amounts to nothing.
Like you might as well have been watching Scatman on the Snow Cat.
But you know what? If Jack Nicholson had present bombs, because that was pretty awesome when Sandberg's throwing the present.
Oh,
bombs.
when he's just the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I wish they'd included that from the original novel when he's flying around on a glider.
Yeah.
Throwing bombs at
Ah, Spidey bells, Spidey bells.
So then they snowmobile around a forest or woods or whatever. They accidentally end up in a skeet shooting range.
Yeah.
And then they're at high school.
Well, yeah, they go through the town
And it's
square,
magically nighttime.
and that's when Santa
Oh, yeah,
kidnaps.
town square.
He's like, "Remember Dave Thomas, everybody, that adequate actor? I'm going to kidnap him
Also-
and not kill this man for no reason. He doesn't kill Dave Thomas. He brings him with him."
Also, there are a handbell group in
That-
town
yeah.
square that they don't sound like handbells
was
at
the church
all.
group.
Oh, no, it made me so mad because they're like, get to the bell group in town square to warn them. And then you can hear the town bells, but then you can also hear like, ding, 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 ding. So they like didn't actually take out the handbell people's bells. They just combined it
They were
with
just-
the
they're playing to a
but that's
normal
not.
bells.
But okay, but that's what I'm saying is, I used to play handbells. I'm gonna admit that
back
right
in
now.
your punk band.
No, back in middle school, but also in my boys choir that I was in. It was a big thing on Christmas. We would do it, and it's actually a lot of fun. Like,
oh no, I always wanted to be part of it, but just because there was a bunch of old women in the group, and they're the best gossipers.
Yeah,
old women shit on everyone. You think you're safe? No.
Well, yeah, I mean, the muscles aren't as strong.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because you get 2 bells, maybe like 4 if like you get switch off.
Sometimes
times,
you get to do that double hand thing where you go like, ding, ding,
yeah.
ding.
That's literally with like your pinky knuckle and your
wrist.
thumb, and you can do that. But either way,
pinky
great
knuckle
at
was your
hand
elf
jobs,
name,
right?
When you would,
well, yeah, and. Why do I like that so much, that joke? But the thing is that you would just play, and what was fun about it is like you only really play your note. You know, like the entire 20 of you will get your own notes, right? So you're just waiting.
It's a Mario Party game.
Yes, and you're just waiting for your time to be like ding, oh ding, oh this is my part, ding, right? And that didn't sound anything like that. That sounded like normal ringing, clanging bells, like Salvation Army.
Do the motions and do
right.
Like, ding,
and we'll add it later in
post. And I'm like, there's one handbells are expensive, so for you got a real handbell. I will say handbell choir, right? You got a real handbell choir out there, and then you didn't record them actually doing a song and put it and use it in ADR.
At this point now, you're going on this 5-minute rant in Mr. Ratner's office.
Yeah.
And he is just adding gay joke after gay joke into this script.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to add the F word 3 more times. Thanks a lot, shithead.
He's like, hey, why don't you bring up handbells again? Go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I'll throw in an altar boy joke directly pointed at you. You want the altar boy to be named Jonathan? He's named Jonathan.
Jonathan Pinky Knuckle.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
I can just see this whole movie. It's just like, don't talk to Mr. Ratner. Oh, God damn it. He's
Every
going
time
to
he
complain.
does it, just makes it worse.
He's just like missing pages of the script at this point. He's just tearing them out.
He's got a typewriter hanging from his shoulders like an accordion.
It's one of Grandpa's inventions.
Oh, yeah. It's a typewriter on the go.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go to a high school for no reason, and now
There's
it's night.
a sign on the door that says like Christmas dance, which I thought they were going to go into a Christmas dance.
They didn't have enough
How great
people
would
for
that have
that.
been if we have like a Carrie massacre?
Or like,
Santa
you know,
just rolls in
like
during the
Ghost
Christmas
Ship,
dance?
like he cuts a string of lights and it just slices a bunch of people in half.
Christmas lights just going twang across there.
No. This is what we call on the Grindbin runtime, because this movie was only 60 minutes, and they need to add 10 minutes of people walking around a high school that we got to shoot at.
Break into
That's
the
what
high
it is.
school, walk around it a bunch. Santa coughs up another coal thing, a flaming coal thing.
The whole joke when he opens a Charles Dickens book, Christmas Story, and he goes, "This scares the Dickens out of people."
Waka waka.
It's not even a joke.
Well, this is also so he throws that book at Sandwich Boy.
Oh
yeah. Well, first
and it
he
just
tear
kind of
gasses them with a Christmas ornament, which drives them toward the exit, and then he whips the Charles Dickens book at his head.
Yeah. Which,
But,
by
like-
the way, you want your protagonist to be real strong here in the third act and stuff. He's acting like a bitch.
She's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "It hurt."
Yeah, he's like,
really hurt.
But also multiple
Yeah.
scenes of him going, "My head
It's
still
always
hurts."
a good idea to concuss your hero before the end of the movie.
Yeah, and every
It's-
time she's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "No, my head really hurts."
I'm still
It's like,
seeing
shut
stars.
up.
I just want to lay down for a little bit. Don't go to sleep. Please
Okay,
don't
you
go
know
to
what?
sleep, Sandwich
I
Boy.
get it now. At one
It's-
point, Sandwich Boy went up to Mr. Ratner, and he goes, "So what's my motivation in this scene?" And he's like, "Oh, you want motivation, huh?"
Hey, Bill.
Huh?
Bill, you think you could get him in the head with that book?
Yeah.
Actually,
how many tries do you think it would
please hit him?
Now talk
And
about
Bill's
how much
like,
your
well,
wuss head
I happen
hurts.
to know how to concuss people, so let me go ahead.
Hey, yeah, why don't you complain about your head hurting again, huh?
Yeah, you'll never get any pussy in your life ever again.
Well, it's like based on the kills that Santa has done with a lot less. That book should have like obliterated his head.
Yeah, it should have been like a Deadly Friend with the basketball.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, how did that book
And
just
what
not
a
like
twist
go
that would have
into
been
his
if
head?
our protagonist got his head exploded before the end of the movie.
And then
we
it
just
was
get
just a
Sandwich
robot
Girl.
That'd be great.
from the future.
Yeah, that's it.
Just have Sandwich Girl. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
So they leave the library and then they go down a hallway and they trip through a door and they're in suddenly the community center with a skating rink.
Okay, it's Canada, so let me
the high
just
school
explain.
has an ice rink.
Every, like, you know, if you're in
actually
Canada
makes sense.
and you walk through a random door, you might fall into an ice rink. Okay,
Because
they're
they
everywhere.
they fall in the middle of the ice
Oh, yeah,
rink
yeah.
after they go through that.
And
door.
Oh, that's, you know,
Like they
I
fell
was
out of
It's
the
like they
ceiling.
were the ghost in the Beetlejuice house and they just fell onto Sal.
I was confused.
That's what it felt like because they're like,
There's a sandworm coming through the ice rink?
sliding.
Also, is this their high school? Because if so, they should know where the ice rink is.
Again,
right?
Jonathan, I was very confused, but then I figured out, no, it's a Canadian tradition that you just kind of put ice rinks wherever you can fit them.
Oh, like they just pop up overnight.
Yeah.
It's Hogwarts. They just like move around.
Oh, it's like a Christmas tree lot.
Question, kid.
Yeah. Once again with the logic.
Clickety clack, clickety clickety clack.
He's putting another dick pun in the movie.
Yeah. Santa gets a Zamboni and tries to run him over
slowly.
That I really did appreciate that, though.
It was
if
good,
you get
but
an
I'm
ice
sad
rink,
he didn't kill him.
I know, but if you get an ice rink, you gotta have a Zamboni.
But
Come
also,
on.
like, he has powers. Why is he doing things that aren't...
Excuse me.
For fun.
If you had the opportunity...
Did you just ask a question?
Yeah. If you had the opportunity to drive a Zamboni, you wouldn't?
Touche.
Because I would.
They should have had a moment like that where Santa looks over his shoulder and sees the Zamboni is here.
I mean, you're not wrong. We have a Zamboni at work, and I'm not trained on it, and I'm still sad. So...
It's a blast. It really is.
Where
fun.
is the Zamboni used?
Well, it's just like a sweeper. It's a sit-down sweeper,
okay.
but we call it a Zamboni because it's like a baby
now,
Zamboni
I'm a pretty
sweeper.
big Disney fan. I'm at the park quite a bit.
Oh, it's a warehouse, but they do have them for
Zambonis
in the
are
parks.
for everywhere.
Is this next to the basketball court in the Matterhorn?
No, there's
it's
Zambonis.
the ice rink in the Matterhorn. It's the level below it.
Fun fact, guys, breaking the magic. There's Zambonis all over the place at night.
In SFM, not safe for magic.
Oh my god,
that's from Reddit.
Oh god. Yeah, no, there's the hosers will come in and then the Zambonis will come in after.
Of course the hosers have Zambonis.
We had a Canadian manager once that literally every time
trolls.
she's like, oh, in third shift they got the Zamboni, or she's like, they got the hosers. Sorry. And it's like, we get it. You're Canadian. That's a different word up there. Every time she said hosers, she'd be like, sorry. She's like, shut up.
I mentioned I'm from Canada.
I know.
I'm someone's girlfriend who lives in Canada.
Have you guys seen Santa's Sleigh?
It's my favorite movie.
It's Canadian Treasure. Released theatrically.
So
Still to this day.
Zamboni's about to Zambone him, just really crush him. And I thought Sandwich Girl's scream stopped him because she it zooms into her mouth and she's like, ah, and it stops. And I was like, oh, she's got maybe she's a siren, and we're getting a bunch of mythology, and now it's
because it's Brett Ratner.
Canadian Teen Wolf. I don't know.
Showed up.
Yeah,
because you asked too many questions, and now she's a siren.
But it turns out there's
she screams homophobic slurs.
You asked me another question? Good. Your wings get cut off in this movie. How do you like that?
So there's a.
Who's your favorite X-Men? Cyclops? Just you wait.
He's
like a fart in the wind.
Yeah.
You fuck Patrick Stewart.
There's
He's dead too.
A stone from the game
curling.
A curling stone.
A curling
of
stone
Thrones
is
a ghost curling
Game
stone.
of Stones.
And
it's a ghost stone.
This is right after Sandwich Boy shines a flashlight. And
Santa's like,
Santa Bird goes,
fuck you.
I'm Santa Claus, not fucking Dracula.
Right.
And apparently Santa doesn't know how Dracula works because a flashlight isn't going to do it. I'm Santa Claus, not Howie Mandel.
Yeah. But also...
Not a cockroach.
But you were kind of hurt by the Star of David Dracula joke.
Yeah, but emotionally.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you?
Oh, right.
But yeah, they play another round of
hellhole ice ring.
Hellhole curling.
This time there's no time limit.
Okay, so Grandpa, it's revealed that Grandpa was the angel, and Grandpa's come back down from heaven and challenged him to one last game.
Yeah.
Same rules, except now not
The stakes
1,000
are higher.
years. Yeah. The
stakes are the same if he loses.
The stakes are the same for Grandpa.
Not very creative,
Stakes
Santa
are-
Bird.
Yeah.
Santa Bird should have been like, I'm taking you and your shit-ass grandson to hell. And then Angel could have been like, not my grandson. He hasn't lived a full life. That's what I thought it was going to be.
So hold on. How old is this grandpa?
This is my problem. We established during the Rankin Bass flashback that he came to
That he's
Earth
mortal.
as an old man.
That he's mortal.
Well, no, I think he gave up his mortality. He gave up his immortality when he met his grandma.
Jesus. Well, no, hold on. That doesn't
then
work.
Then he would have been an old man fucking a
there is
real
something
young
called...
That's my issue. That's what I wanted to talk about.
There's something called menopause.
He's only ever been in the form of old-ass Robert Culp.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means that when he created the family tree that Sandwich Boy comes from, he's been this ancient man from the start. I mean, now I'm not one to shame anybody's thing.
It's very medieval if you think about it.
Yeah, but there's some serious May December shit going on in the past here. Like,
also, once we've established that he is an angel and thus Sandwich Boy is of angel birth, why wasn't that
not
then...
as of his birth. I thought about that too, but because he gave up his immortality as an
yeah,
angel,
but like
he would have been more.
Could have been a nice way to defeat
immortal.
Santa instead of the redneck ending that we got.
But Sandwich Boy won't realize he's part angel till he chokes on a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, so by the way, and apparently he picked the form of an old man.
Because who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't want to be 70-year-old Robert Culp?
I want my balls low.
Why couldn't
my
they
dick's
say
powder to be dry?
Why couldn't they say?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he say that he just picked the form of and he's
Of a
aged over
dog.
time?
And he became human. And granted, he would have to age slowly. But what we didn't expect was a geriatric Highlander.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so Santa just cheats. That's what happens. And
This fucking
instead
guy.
of throwing his curling rock, he just sends
This is Brett Ratner just in script form right here.
Yeah, I think Robert Culp had a question, so they just grabbed him and threw him in the hole.
Yeah, throw his old ass down the hellhole, which really goes to hell. It was in our writer that it had to be a hole to hell.
So then, for some reason, Santa just zambonis out of there.
And
yeah,
they
you know,
do
I
the
never
whole,
understood
like,
that.
You're out of time, Santa.
Hold on. There is a part where Santa gets hit by a fireballed chestnut.
Oh, yeah.
Which
So this is that
Santa
thing.
can shoot fireballs like a Street Fighter
So
character.
Santa shoots.
Well, we did the Yoga Flame earlier. Now we do the Yoga Fire.
Because he does it from his mouth, right? He shoots.
Yeah,
he goes.
just belch it like Bowser. He just
Yeah.
goes, and there it goes.
You're right.
Yeah,
He does.
the
That's
fireball comes out, but Sandwich Boy uses the Nutcracker to shoot the chestnut.
He like catches it in the Nutcracker, fires it back, right?
No.
he
fires
shoots it through the
Oh no,
fireball.
yeah, that's right. He shoot, yeah, I get
and then
that.
it hits Santaberg in the chest.
And he's like, "Ow!" Which
Yeah.
I thought then, like, so Santa then does his escape.
Which makes no sense because everybody's standing at the hellhole because Grandpa didn't die. He's hanging on the hellhole. Santaberg could have run them all into the hellhole or run them
easily.
over.
It'd been
yeah.
over.
Yeah. But instead he breaks out in the town.
And then, but also the chestnut doesn't blow up, so we don't have that.
And we
set
even
up
have
there.
a quip
Yeah.
like it's supposed to be what kills him because Sandwich Boy goes chest nut.
No. Yeah.
And then you should have done like a uh-oh and then explode like the other Freddy's dead.
No. But instead they're like, let's get some guns in the movie, huh?
That's what we need.
Hey guys, you know how we end a movie? Let's introduce some new characters that we've only ever once talked about off screen.
In come the Expendables.
Yeah, and pretend like we've known them the whole movie because they run through a hunting party.
Which
and
is
they're-
her dad. They
yeah,
mentioned earlier
but
that her
hold
dad's
on.
a
They don't
crazy
even say
hunter.
that at this point. They just run through a hunting
With
party.
the
And
throat cancer Indian?
yes, they
Which
start.
Native American, but
Yeah,
yes, with
for
his
the-
llama
for
branded
one.
everything.
But our two main characters start talking to
Still
these people
2005.
Yeah.
like they've been in the movie the whole time. They're like, "Hey guys, Santa's coming in." I'm like, "Whoa, who the fuck are these people?"
Yeah.
These 8 new cast members we're dealing with.
I mean, we did run into them shooting skeet earlier.
Did we lift this from South Park, by the way?
It definitely
The voice
is.
box guy.
It definitely is. It's just
He's
Ned
part of a
from
group
South
of
Park.
hunters. He also doesn't have a hole in his throat. He's just doing like a cane thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
you have to use the voice box, you
He
have
has a
hole in
scar.
your throat.
He has a scar.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he has a scar.
It looks
Sorry, I
kind of like
watched
a
this on a
neck
potato.
wrinkle, but also like you have to leave those open. You don't close them back
Yeah,
up.
we also
Right, because
PSA.
air passes through the voice box thing in
You
order
wanna-
for it to
yeah.
happen.
You want
I
to say that
thought.
again? You want to say that again to Mr. Radner? Go ahead. I got my finger on the key. Go ahead. Tell me. Tell me again how the voice box works.
Now that it's not directed at Jonathan, it's very scary. I don't like it.
It's like he's actually here.
want this.
Ratner's hovering over the homo button.
If I say I want a character like the guy on South
X-Men
Park,
3 was
I
great.
want him.
I'm sorry.
There's just a big red button with a rainbow sticker on it. You just hits it. Bam! Now you got another one.
Slams my head into it. You like that? Yep. And I'm like, no.
You know what this guy right here wants for Christmas? A Barbie. All right, put that in the script.
So yeah, they then are like, oh, you guys want a best trophy for your wall? We got a flying reindeer coming. Aim all your guns up there. And they're like, okay.
A big bison with a red nose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
nobody questions it.
But these guys can't shoot for shit.
Yeah.
Nobody can hit it, even though it's as big as a fucking it's just a giant ass fucking bison.
So we're just and we're just firing rounds into the air.
Everybody's
over
got
a town.
scopes, by the way, and it's not like he's flying all around. He's flying in a straight line. The object's just getting bigger, right? So all you need to do is aim straight.
I wanted the flash to later when all the bullets have to come down.
Yeah.
And just like everyone in town square is just getting taken out.
But no, and then again, it is really South Park because somebody shows up with a bazooka.
Yeah, that's her dad.
Her dad.
Yeah,
Her dad
yeah.
comes rolling in with the BFG.
Yeah.
And they blow up Rudolph and Santa's titular sleigh.
And then chunks fly everywhere. They go to the school to find our pastor.
Well, yeah, Dave Thomas finally pissed off Brett Ratner enough to where he was like, put him on the fucking pole.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
You're lucky we didn't Vlad this shit.
Have you guys seen Uncle Sam? I love that movie.
They cut his body or they cut the pole, get the body off, but then
he landed on the pole outside the school and got impaled.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, who landed? Oh,
Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas was on the sleigh
he
when
was
it
in the sleigh.
exploded,
Okay.
so he landed on the
See,
flagpole.
I thought
Right,
Santa
because-
threw him on the flagpole and then took off.
Because you
was,
totally
collateral
forgot
damage.
that Dave Thomas has just been passed out in the passenger seat of the sleigh
Okay.
So it
throughout
turns
this
out
entire
Dave
climax
Thomas
for no
actually
reason.
got killed by.
He was like,
Sandwich
he's so
Girl's dad.
naughty, I like it.
Right?
He's gonna take him with him.
But also, like, okay, so he's on the flagpole, and basically Dave Thomas, as the pastor, gets blamed for all the murders in the town, right?
And he's got the Santanomicon tucked under his ass.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yet, but Sandwich Boy and Sandwich Girl are right there, and not once are they like, yeah, he doesn't look anything like this.
Well, she says it. She
Say
says
it again. Say it again.
She says it in the script. She goes, "Why didn't you
End
say
it.
anything?" And he goes, "Well,
yeah.
that's kind of all I remember."
I think, you know what, now that I start to think about it, I
Quite.
think that
Quite.
Sandwich Boy and Sandwich Girl
Quite.
were just terrified through this whole movie. They're like, we just got to do what we're told.
And you know what? To your point about Mr. Ratner Crown, that you don't want to question. Apparently, Sandwich Boy did ask a question, because when they do kiss each other,
Oh,
she
yeah.
says,
Say it again.
Do you think Dave Thomas is the killer?
He says, you hit like a girl. And then she says, you kiss like a guy.
No, yeah, he says,
No, I got it backwards,
he says, you kiss like a guy,
Please
which you
break
know,
up.
he was like, but why did,
She
how did,
says you hit like a girl,
Miss-
and he says back to her, you kiss like a guy. And that
Yeah.
had to be where he's like, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
yeah,
If chunks flew everywhere, how do they have an animal on their hood later?
No.
That's
He's
what
like,
my
you know
favorite
what,
thing
kid?
was. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Now you kiss like a guy.
it was just like this. How do we have the thing on the hood? How do we have Dave
line.
Thomas there? And he goes, you know what? And you can tell by this point, Sandwich Boy is terrified. He's like, Mr. Ratner, I'm really sorry. I just want to know why these things would happen and everything.
Why is it on the hood of the trunk when you've got a totally open bed of your truck?
Yeah, and he
You put
doesn't
it
even
in the back.
he doesn't even look at Sandwich Boy at this point. He just makes eye contact with him, doesn't say a word, and presses the rainbow button.
Rainbow button.
Yeah.
And he
It's
goes,
it's
take it again.
it's
Your
the
line-
easy button.
Your line is now you kiss like a guy.
Yeah, we now are
And that
going to
implies
imply,
that you've kissed guys.
Yeah, and I also want you to kind of break
You've
the
kissed
fourth
a gay
wall.
brother.
You know what now? You're making out with boys. That's what you're doing now.
Because it almost does, too. It's like he
Ask
goes,
another question, and we're going to film the scene.
You kiss like a guy. And then she's like, kind of looks at him, and he kind of shrugs his shoulders, and he's like, yeah, that's exactly how I want it
That's
played
like
off.
how I felt when I kissed girls in high school, and they were like, "Ha," and I was like, "You kiss like a guy," and they're like, "What?" It's like,
Nothing?
"Ah,
That's what I wanted you to say.
no."
Oh, no.
I mean, you got like a nice hairy upper lip.
Anyway, and slinked away into the darkness.
Just ran. I'm sorry, I'll call you later to break up with you.
So also it seemed like Mr. Ratner had a stopwatch or something. He goes, and 70 minutes, we're
Yeah.
done.
So, yeah, the hunters now have strapped Rudolph to the hood of their car. So if Dave Thomas is still whole, Rudolph is still complete.
Keep doing
Santa is not in pieces. Did they have a bag of meat in the sleigh that just flew everywhere?
it. Keep
I
saying
guess.
it. Keep saying it.
Oh, God, now I kiss like a guy.
So then, yeah, everyone's like hunky dory, and we see Santa at
this
the
case, it's
airport.
honky-dory.
Yeah, honky. Oh no.
Tiny Lister left the set.
They're like, oh,
And this is weird now. I don't see a point to this. I have questions, Mr. Ratner.
yeah.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, Santa Claus is
Oh,
now
yeah?
just Bill Goldberg
Yeah.
with a big
Yeah.
long braided beard. He's wearing his own wrestler merch. That
Yeah.
beanie he's on has a Goldberg symbol on it.
It was in his
For
rider.
fuck's sake. By the way, get the new Goldberg beanie right now on
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg.
What if it explained where Goldberg actually came from?
All this time, Goldberg's been Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all it was.
apparently he tries to get a flight on North Pole Air,
Yeah.
which he's going
Well, because
to.
I
Didn't
understand
know that
he
was a
doesn't
thing.
have his
Yeah.
powers now.
Yeah.
Is my understanding of this.
Uh-huh.
So he's just he's now mortal.
So are we saying he only has his powers once a night? I mean, once a year? Is that what they're
Are
saying?
we going to go through this again?
Hit that button.
I know the movie's over, but guess what? I still get to write you a credit in the credits. So,
Homo.
which, by the way,
Homo 1 through 10.
Did you notice in the credits that everybody had a X or a
Naughty
present
or
next to
nice,
them?
yeah.
I think we know who got the X's.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he checks in to this airport as Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
No, Shaitan.
Sorry, Mr. Satan.
Mr. Shaitan.
But if that's his last name, it means his name is Santa Satan, since he is the son of Satan.
Uh-huh. I don't see anything wrong with
No,
that.
not at all. And yeah, he checks a bag, and it's his big red sack.
Yep.
We make a joke about it.
Kind of.
He's got a big sack. Make the lady say the sack joke,
and it's
too.
really an anticlimactic ending.
That's exactly how that goes down.
Yeah. Can you say a joke about it being a sack?
That's great. Love it.
Nice and naughty, and we have the credits. We have the post-credits return.
Hold on.
Wait.
Also,
wait a minute.
Hold on. Also, because he's in Canada, we got to get into hockey jokes.
Right.
It's kind of like that Canadian guy. You know the one who played hockey that has a name like Satan? I don't, but that's what they tell me.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, no, I knew that was what they were going for, but I had no idea who they were talking about.
Yeah, he says something like, it's Satan or something. She goes, like the hockey player.
Oh.
There's only one hockey player. There's two. There's Gretzky and there's Crosby. That's all I know. And even that, I'm like, I don't know what they look like.
You never heard of the Canadian treasure, Satan?
Shanton.
What about Tony Twist?
Tony Twist.
I think he was a blues player.
Whatever happened to the Transylvania Twist?
And so
I know like 3 or 4 other hockey players.
Mr. Ratner, that's not a hockey player.
You know what? I like to believe that right now Brett Ratner still has the homo button on his desk.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
In the year of our Lord 2018.
When
he's taking meetings, he's like, you know
really?
what? He's hovering over the thing. They're like, sir, you can't.
You want to know why they took him off the Oscars? Now you know.
Who's going to host? NPH. Not in my life.
Him and Eddie Murphy had the typewriter out,
shit.
man. Well, I mean, we've all seen
He's
Eddie
also
Murphy
dressed
raw,
in the Eddie Murphy suit.
Yeah.
So the movie ends with Santa just sitting, waiting for his plane, but then goes on to have like an end credits, like where usually they'd play it's playing a scene that we'd already seen before, and it'll freeze and it'll say the character's name, but there was no.
It doesn't even
credits.
freeze. It's just like them for about 3 to 5 seconds, and it looks like it should be like. You watched a movie, like, I can't think of the movie. I think it might be Twin Peaks. I don't know, but it's like, this character died, and it shows him for a couple seconds, and then the screen fades to, like, grayscale.
Kind of, but these just seem like alternate takes of things that we saw, and that's where I had to question.
They're not even bloopers.
Because I downloaded this, I'm like,
curling
was that on your version too? There was no, like, here's, like, Bill Goldberg, and person.
Oh, no. That was in the beginning of the movie. They had like all the Goldberg.
Right, but you know what I'm saying? Usually if they're going to play this out...
If you show an actor's face, like a post-movie, put their name
right,
on this
and it's
scene.
like it's previous scenes that we've seen scattered throughout the movie for each actor, and it even plays out like... It's in order. It's like Goldberg, then Sandwich Boy, Sandwich Girl, Grandpa. Like, it's playing out in the way you would introduce your cast after the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, I don't know if
but
I had
there's
this.
no credits.
I don't know if I had this.
Yeah, I don't think
No?
my version had it either.
Yeah, I really did.
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
if
we had the same one because I
you
gave it
cut
to
out
him.
now.
So, like, but,
Is mine
yeah.
still on?
Huh?
I can't hear myself.
Oh. Damn it. Good. There you go.
Yeah, you're back.
I rented it on Amazon, so I spent
Okay.
$3 on this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, same too. Pay
So,
up.
And I don't think I got that.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
do
we
have
had
to,
a...
Do we have to start caroling?
Oh, man.
You guys, to pay us for
You guys
this?
had the Canadian
2
cut.
songs. That's 2 songs.
They got the Canadian
no,
cut,
because
Bobby.
the
What did you watch it on?
Do
you not wanna
we
say?
downloaded it. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
You streamed it like we did.
You got it from Goldberg.
yeah,
From Bill Goldberg
right.
himself.
Yeah.
But the one that we had,
I got the
had
Oscar screener.
it.
Had the
yeah.
text across the screen.
Oh, yeah. From the producer of... from the
But
director
no, it
of Red
didn't have
Dragon.
the text. That's what we're complaining about here. Is that our version, like after the airport scene, it goes into like first it's a scene
Yeah,
of
you've explained it.
Goldberg, or like right?
Yeah,
and
I
then,
think we've all got the picture.
Yeah.
I hate you. And
We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes on this episode.
that's great.
It's an
Cool.
epic episode. It's a Christmas special.
Yes.
Oh, it's special.
Don't remind people of how long they've sat through this. They've probably
they'll know.
They've probably done multiple trips in traffic
It's okay.
listening to this episode.
Mike and I have had episodes that went this long too.
I did not expect this to go that far, but
So this would be a tight 90.
And then the movie just like has these outtakes that aren't even fun or funny, and
much like the regular takes.
yeah, and then does the Goldberg phrase at the end, and that's it. Catch
Who's
her.
next?
That's it.
Which, if he has no powers, why is he suddenly back in the Santa suit with his
Say
wrist
it one
and-
more time.
oh, no.
It's a year later.
Oh, God, Mr. Ratner, I'm sorry.
One more time.
So
And there we have it.
Yeah.
Santa's sleigh.
Yep, Santa sleigh. So we've got a couple things to do still here on the show, as we always do. First, gentlemen, would you recommend this movie?
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of how poorly it ages. Like, it is so unacceptable for 2018. And such a time, we talked about this before the show, it's such a time capsule of the mid-aughts. You know, I feel like I'm still listening to Drowning Pool. You know, I feel like I'm wearing my baggy jeans and my ball necklaces.
And boy, do those bodies hit the floor, am I right?
Wow, I'm loving Taking Back Sunday today. Yeah, no, I would too. I would say that this is... It should have been on Netflix already and just been part of their Christmas collection of stuff this year or any year.
I mean, I'm outraged I had to pay to watch this.
Yeah, why did you should have told me. I would have given you that copy and we all would have been like, what's up with the thing?
You wouldn't have been on an island about that at the end?
I feel good about giving my money to Mr. Ratner.
Yeah, if there's a person I want to support, it's Brett Ratner.
Hell yeah. Oh, you should have told me. I didn't realize that.
Oh, nonsense. It's fine.
Okay, well, thank you.
You picked this movie, I thought.
I did.
You did.
Jonathan gave me a list, and I was like, well, we gotta do Santa's sleigh.
We gotta.
Because it's like a Grindhouse movie in 2005.
Yeah.
It really
as far
is.
as all the stuff that we had to deal with.
Except
it
adds a 2005 love story.
Yeah.
That's the problem with this movie.
It's kind of a perfect blending of the kind of stuff you guys cover and the kind of stuff we guys cover.
Fair.
We guys.
So,
We Guys podcast.
Also, as you've heard on previous episodes, we have the Jaws scale. So where does Jaws in the saga of Jaws does this rating fall for you?
I think I'd put this at Piranha 2. No, I definitely give this a. I guess I'd go Jaws 2. It's definitely not Jaws, but I don't think I'd go so far as to give it a Jaws 3.
Sure.
The love story makes it Jaws 3.
Okay.
I'm a Jaws 2 with it.
I'm gonna say 2 as well. It's over the top, but it's not. It's over the top, but it's done on purpose. It never takes itself seriously. So
it does though. With that love story, it takes itself dead seriously with that shit.
Tries serious.
It's a weird thing,
and it's literally it's just like 5 lines of love story to where it's like I can ignore it.
But that's the thing is like they should have
kiss at the end. But
if you're gonna do it as an ironic type of thing, make it ironic.
Yeah.
But they don't. It's like you should be emotionally invested in this character's love story.
I don't know why this happens, and I know this from personal experience. Producers fucking love shoehorning a love story in. It's like
every great movie.
Every fucking movie, doesn't matter the plot. They're like, what if somebody falls in love, huh?
Look, there's 2 things every movie must have: a love story or Frasier. So you pick.
Man, can you imagine if they went the other way on this one?
Yeah.
Suddenly Frasier shows up?
So we had an extremely strong opinion about this film, and it kind of swayed back and forth. But there's some people who were adamantly positive about this film, and we asked those people to give us 5. These are 5-star reviews or 1-star reviews if we don't have enough, called from IMDb and Amazon. So the first one,
username not Ratner.
Definitely not
Feeling
Ratner.
Rhett Batner says.
This one is from Spasm26.
That's definitely him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Written October 2005, so when it came out.
Oh man, so it's still fresh.
Yeah. Wait, can you tell me the exact date in October? Because it came out October
26th.
That's one day after this premiered in Canada.
Okay.
So came out of the theater like, I gotta talk about it. I gotta let people know.
The new assistant to Mr. Ratner, Spasm26.
So yeah, what did Gasm have to say about it?
Titled An Awesome Movie. When I first heard of this movie, I was skeptical. I mean, Goldberg as Santa who goes around killing people for no reason. But after I saw it, and I realized how great this movie was, how complex the plot was, and how this may be one of the great movies of our generation. I mean, the synopsis is, quote, Bill Goldberg plays the devil's son who lost a wager with an angel and was forced to spend 1,000 years playing Santa, but now the wager of that time has run out and good old Santa isn't so joyful anymore. He makes up for lost time and starts to kill people, end quote.
That old chestnut.
If I could give it an 11, I would. Based on this performance, I think Goldberg will have quite the movie career.
Okay,
5 stars.
Man, nailed it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Look, if you're the director of a movie, you don't need to write reviews. Okay? You can just let it go out there. Let public opinion be what it may. One man's opinion is never going to change everybody's, but please. If you're reciting the entire synopsis for a movie that just came out yesterday in absolute detail, I don't know. I'm very suspicious.
That did
very,
feel
very
like
suspicious.
It was the director. He's like, I know on paper this concept doesn't sound good. This is basically verbatim what he said to Brett Ratner to try to get this thing better. I know that sounds stupid, but
are you sure that's not the fucking back of the DVD? Like, that sounds like the exact back of the box.
Quote, Bill Goldberg plays the devil's son who lost a wager with an angel and is forced to spend 1,000 years playing Santa, but now the wager of that time has run out, and good old Santa isn't so joyful anymore. He makes up for lost time and starts to kill people.
You got 2 minutes, kid.
And it's also starts, by the way, the first line starts with, I know, Bill Goldberg is Santa? Because it's like, hey, pal,
wild?
we know.
Yeah, that needs to be on the back of the DVD.
That is.
It'd just be like, Spasm says.
Quote from like a reviewer, I think Goldberg will have quite the movie career. 5 stars.
Goldberg's agent.
And then we only have one more this week, written by Miss Haveson, March 2017, titled, The Guy Playing Santa Makes This Movie Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sincerely, Mrs. Goldberg.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my boy.
It's a typical 90s film, but it's
in 2005.
But it's very enjoyable and has a great unpolitically correct vibe.
Oh God!
I watched it.
They're from the South.
I watched it several times and find it more entertaining than most films or TV shows made today, which are all mopey and either try to shock you like Pulp Fiction, or try to bore you like Avatar, or try to do both like American Horror Story. 5 stars.
Wait, I'm
when
sorry.
Was this written?
American Horror Story in 2005? What is this?
No, this was written March 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I love that's,
I mean, they're not
that
wrong
fit
about
across
American
the
Horror
boards.
Story.
It's just like they have to shoehorn a like PC culture run amok thing in there.
Yeah.
Also, they have no idea when this came out or who played Santa. Like, I don't know the name of the lead actor or when this movie. This was just from the '90s and some Jewish guy.
This was just Jessica Lange after she wasn't invited back to American Horror Story.
I like the idea of someone in the South being like, "Now that's a fucking movie. We need more shit like this.
It's a blast."
I think I figured out what Chris Kattan was lobbying for. He definitely wanted to be one of those demon elves. I think he was like, look, and he's got the elf and everything.
You never saw me die.
You guys want some cookies? So it wouldn't be a collaboration unless we asked you, gentlemen.
Oh. Do you hear that sound? Oh, God.
How does the characters from the van fit into this movie?
Oh, boy.
Mike,
Man, I didn't even think about this.
We didn't think this would happen. We've been ambushed.
To be honest, though, even in our own show, I never think about it.
Right.
I never write it down ahead of time. I just come with it at the top of my head.
Spoiler
when we get to it.
I think that a pair of carolers showed up to that house from the beginning after Santa had left to sing a few songs, maybe make a few quick bucks, and then they realized that everyone's unconscious in here. And I think that maybe 2 more people came down the chimney that night.
Interesting. Well, I think, you never know what happened to Sandwich Boy's father. But I feel like,
that is a good question.
Yeah, exactly. Sandwich Grandpa, right? When he came down to Earth, he met a girl, right?
Gave her a ride in his wagon?
Yeah. This girl's name was Sally Johnson, right?
What is said and not?
Yeah, but here's the thing: is he thought that he impregnated Sally Johnson, but actually Bobby had before. So Sandwich Boy is actually the spawn of Bobby.
That is,
which is why he has no power.
Yeah. That's why he's really shitty at curling, and he doesn't know anything Canadian.
This all makes sense. This goes all the way to the top.
Yeah. And then Bill Goldberg knows you got to get rid of everything to do with Bobby Hampton.
And that's actually why Santa came to wipe everybody out.
Oh yeah.
It's like a Looper situation. He's got to go.
Yeah. Remember how I said Santa was actually
confused?
Remember how I said he was probably the good guy?
I think I'm on your side about that, Mike.
He still is. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us. I had a blast today.
Sincerely, it has been a pleasure.
Yeah,
it's been great.
Absolutely.
I hope that
anytime
that each of us can come to each other's neck of the woods again sometime.
I think so.
Yeah.
When are you guys gonna do a live show?
That's a very good question.
Come on down.
When somebody will show up.
Yeah. when we have listeners who live near us.
No, I meant like come on ours then.
Hell
like,
yeah. We're all about
we're
it.
down the street.
Let's make it happen.
What did we
guys.
say? The Running Man? We were thinking about the
if
Running
you can
Man.
make the Running Man happen, I will be
I
there
definitely
in a fucking
make the Running
jumpsuit.
Man happen.
And Mike will show up as Dynamo.
Oh shit!
Just come rolling down the aisleway. La, 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 la,
I love that movie so much.
But yeah, whatever movie you guys want to do, we'd be happy to show up.
Oh, awesome!
Make some yucks with you guys
there's
on
still
stage.
there's still some holes to plug in.
Whoa! I said we'd show up on a show.
No, there's still some things I haven't gone through and decided what month and what we're gonna do. So like, there's still some things that we can definitely collaborate on that. But then just come by if like at any given point you're like, we thought this would be a really fun one to do. Like, just here we are, you know,
absolutely.
right down the street. So I want to make sure that this continues, or at least maybe it's a Christmas tradition. Who knows?
But yeah, you'll definitely hear us again,
hell yeah.
Bombs Away fans, because the real bombs were the friends we made along the way.
That is a compliment?
No.
But how can people? We told them before, but how can they find you all through your media?
Bobby's always the best with this.
Yes, of course. You can like us on Facebook, hate us on Twitter, and be indifferent to our Instagram. We're at grindhousefilm.com. We are at grindpod on Twitter.
Yep.
And just, if you Google, Grindbin Podcast, you'll get all the formats we're up. We're up on pretty much everything you guys are up on.
Okay.
As far as listening ways.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a Patreon. Go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, patreon.com/grindbin.
Where we have the mini bin, usually covering bizarre TV, employee training videos.
It's a weekly bonus show.
Absolutely. And in the near future, we are going to start going episode by episode through Freddy's Nightmares.
Ooh. That could be a podcast in itself.
It definitely could be.
This is going to be very difficult for a Freddy apologist. Bobby Trippett.
That's me. We've done one episode so far. It was very well received. We had a very good time doing it. So I'm like, fuck it, we're doing it.
But if I slightly start insulting Freddy, he could just see the blood boiling. He gets Ratner style.
I do have a 1428 tattoo. If that tells you anything.
All right. So, is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we wrap it up?
Mike? Anything else going on?
I would say if you're new to our show, if you want to check out a certain episode, check out the Mind Trap episode, which was recently. Which, by the way, if you could ever screen that movie, holy shit.
It is insane. We've only been able to find it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There is no... maybe there's a VHS out there somewhere, but this thing is forgotten in the sands of time.
Perfect.
So it is a true hidden gem when it comes to best of the worst type of movies. It is... beyond anything you could ever imagine. And nobody's ever heard of it.
Awesome.
And apparently we got so many people to watch it from that YouTube channel, the guy had to take it down.
Nuh-uh.
Now
really?
He took it down?
Yeah, now it's gone.
Oh my
no
God.
longer in existence.
Oh my God.
You just wounded me deeply in my soul.
That reminds me.
Now no one can go watch Mind Trap.
That reminds me. I woke up to a sad thing. So every once in a while when I get the chance, I'll throw up one of the films that we did. And I was actually able to, since we did the episode, I had Wishmaster 2 up on Facebook.
Evil never
right?
dies.
This morning, I got a notification saying that Wishmaster 2 had been flagged for hate speech.
What?
And I'm like, the movie? Or were people commenting
the movie.
Yeah, right? So that video is one of our it's just shared constantly, and we get a bunch of random followers from across the country just literally being like, look, Wishmaster 2 is just randomly on Facebook, and then people wind up following our account from it. It's kind of was the point.
Yeah.
Right? And then I guess I just had stopped the notifications for it, and hate speech just started happening on my
comment section
Wishmaster.
just started turning into a bunch of white supremacist music.
Right. If I had 3 wishes,
here's what I wish for.
The Jews are gone first.
Mr. Ratner.
And whoever goes around flagging, removing stuff, took one look at it and went, done.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but that brings me to my last point. If you want to find movies like this, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Bombs Away Show. Mm-hmm. You can write to us if you had a special comment that you didn't want to say out loud. You can say it to us privately in our email, contact@bombsawayshow.com. Be aware that our live show, if you're listening to this on the 25th, Merry Christmas. We didn't actually say that at all. But also, 3 days from now, Demolition Man live.
Hell yeah.
Right here at the Frida Cinema.
3 shells in the men's room.
That's right. Which, god damn it, people already stole 4 out of the 5 in the stalls. I had to replace them.
You already put them in the stalls?
Why would you put them in the stalls?
Well, I put...
Save them for the event.
No, I put as an advertisement, I put, like... just a plaque of them. It was like on Gator phone.
Yeah,
like
that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, and it got a couple pre-sales from it, but like Die Hard screened the other night, and just I guess a bunch of bros just ripped them all down and took them home.
Hard opinions about whether it's a Christmas movie. Also trashed the men's room. That fits.
Right. What's interesting is that the women's room is just completely untouched, like from them. They have them. Right. I have them in there too, and they're still. There. But if you're listening to this and you still have time, that is Friday night, December 28th, Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. If you're a local resident, please come down. Pre-sale tickets are still on sale. www.thefridacinema.org/events/bombsaway-live.
And having been to the live shows, I gotta say, they are great.
Oh, thank you.
To anyone listening who hasn't checked this out yet, go to a Bombs Away live show. They are
fun
as hell.
I promise you, somehow I keep topping myself. Like this time it's going to be all shut up. It's going to be all like Taco Bell themed, but then the inside of the theater will be like the cryo prison, and you'll have a picture of yourself like encased in the, like you're in a block of ice, things like
fantastic.
that. But then for the next one, and since it's so close, and this is the shortest, we're gonna have only 3 weeks between live shows. Is I'm announcing the next one, which is January 19th, and it is Deep Blue Sea. And
awesome.
What's fun about this is it's the most interactive version of what we've done yet, where I'm calling it Deep Blue Sea, Wet and Wild.
You are for sure flooding the Frida for this.
I mean, I don't know how much water we're going to use.
Movie, the water level rises.
Will you have a slip and slide down the aisleways of the theater?
I hope.
Oh my God, man!
But it's all baby oil.
Yeah. but everybody's gonna get squirt guns. There's gonna be tons of like blow up sharks that you can like kind of beach balls in the theater. And we're all gonna be dressed as sharks, spraying you with water the entire movie.
This is
anytime
the kind of thing
somebody
you can
gets wet
from a Bombs Away live show.
Yeah, anytime somebody gets wet in the movie, you can probably expect to get wet as well. No seats are safe. Every seat's a splash zone.
Are you going to have like a big guest on the podcast that gets taken out in the first third?
Yeah.
That would be
shit.
Your live guest just suddenly goes, gets taken off the stage.
Oh, man.
That'll be my exit.
Now I'll have
Go
to
ahead
talk
and edit this out. If you do, that would be fantastic. And just they never speak of it again.
I'm gonna have you mid.
If you are planning that, edit this out.
Yeah,
because that's a great surprise.
But
we have to.
But yes, Demolition Man this Friday the 28th, and then Deep Blue Sea the 19th, and then we have a whole bunch of great things coming up the entire year. So make sure that you subscribe to our social media so that you can figure out when we're available, and possibly available in your town if you're not in Southern California. So thank you for joining us, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us,
gentlemen.
Yes,
great.
This Christmas special, I think, was a big hit.
A
At least
huge
amongst us
hit.
while we recorded it.
Yep, a huge hit. And we didn't even drink.
I'm sure gonna, though.
Yeah, right? After
as soon as these mics are out.
What's coming up next week for you guys?
Our next episode, we're kicking off 2019 on our show with 2019, After the Fall of New York.
That's a thing? 2019 is
Oh my God. Dude.
How old?
It came out in the mid-'80s, 84?
Mid-'80s, yeah.
I wanna say?
That's very specific. They're like 2019.
Yeah, it's just like 1990, The Bronx Warriors.
Okay.
And that's the sequel to 2012.
Yes.
Or the prequel.
Perfectly related.
Where the Mayans were like, oh, sorry, we kind of got it wrong. Yes, okay.
It's one of my favorite genres of film. It's a post-apocalyptic after the nukes fell type movie.
Nice.
Where there are no fertile women left. And, it's kind of like Children of Men. They discover that there is a fertile woman out there, and they send Michael Sopkiw to go protect her.
Wow.
To go bone.
Oh, kind of like Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Very similar, actually.
Okay.
It's in the same vein, but amazing. I think that episode went really well. I can't wait to hear it on the actual show.
Awesome. Our next one will be Demolition Man live.
Awesome.
And then after that, Haunted Mansion.
Oh, rad.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up on our shows. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. What?
I have a really random story about Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Eddie Murphy one.
Wait,
right?
Everybody come back in.
A couple of years ago on Christmas, I was visiting family, my wife's family up in Washington, and we're in just a random beach town, and we go into a thrift store, and there are racks and racks and racks and racks of Haunted Mansion, the movie T-shirts.
Oh, God.
And they can't
Just
get
Eddie
rid
Murphy's
of them.
face.
No, it just says, the Haunted Mansion, the movie.
I love when that happens.
And, like, they can't get rid of them, and they were, like,
Don't they send
free.
them to Africa?
No, I mean, basically, they're like, buy one, get one free, 25 cents.
Yeah.
Buy anything, get a Haunted Mansion shirt.
I saw a picture online of a metal band called Skeleton Witch did that at their local place, like their tour shirt or whatever. They had to offload, so they just like dropped them all off at a Goodwill.
Yeah, so apparently somebody just sent them all up to Washington State and just said, you can have this shit.
You got to get up there.
Yeah.
Man, it would have been a great opportunity if you walked into a store to buy them at $0.25 a piece and then just mail somebody, 65 Haunted Mansion T-shirts.
Yeah. It was just racks
With no
and racks
return
and
address.
racks.
No, that's
There's
like
an entire section of the store dedicated to this shirt.
that's like
The
Joel.
back room.
That's like Joel from Karate Dog. Joel from Community. What's his name? From
McHale.
Yeah, Joel McHale would buy. He bought every single DVD copy he could of Karate Dog and would just leave it all over Chevy Chase's dressing room.
That's good.
Like doing his own Everything is Terrible.
Yeah. So, yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen.
Merry whatever.
Yep.
Whatever it is you celebrate.
Merry holidays.
Say fucking Merry Christmas. It's fucking Merry Christmas, you whore.
It's America.
right.
Let's do an outro here. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Jarrett.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Mike.
And
Who's next?
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?